Happy Thursday, Funsters. Dan and Deb are here. Welcome to Nice Podcast Stupid. How's everybody doing? Deb, how are you today?
I am fabulous. I'm very excited for our guest tonight.
He didn't flake this time, right, Deb? He's coming on. Are we sure? Do we know? Are we
I don't know.
confirmed?
I don't know. We're
He
gonna
said
have to wait.
he said he was going to be on. He said he was
I don't
coming.
see him. I don't know. I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't see him. Oh, wait a sec. Wait a sec. I think I see him. So really, honestly, we're gonna get right to it. We waited long enough. A man that really needs no introduction. He really doesn't. I'm gonna introduce him anyway, but he does not need an introduction. The great. Let's say this. You may know him from some acting that he's done, going back to childhood, a TV show that I grew up with. So I'm of a certain age where this was a show that when I was in junior high was on TV. I can't believe this is when I did the research, because I'm like Chad Zumach. I actually read more than the Wikipedia page, or he doesn't even read the Wikipedia page. He just gets on with Adam Bush and knows nothing about Adam Bush. But that's a whole nother story. We're not going to talk about Chad Zumach tonight. We can do that another night. But when I was researching, I couldn't believe one of my favorite shows as a kid had only 26 episodes. I was thinking this thing had been on for like 5 or 6 seasons. I don't know why. I probably watched like every episode like 3 times. I probably have them memorized in the back of my head. But we're going to talk about the famous show that a lot of us grew up on. You might know him from Super Bowl commercials, cameos. He's been in Grand Theft Auto voiceovers. He's, just so many different things. He's an internet personality now. He may or may not be sticking his toes into the dabble. He might be dabbling in the Dabbleverse. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out tonight. But great guy, super cool guy. So excited to have him. Everybody wanted to get him. We talked to this guy. He said, I'm going to do your show. It didn't work out the first time, but he's here tonight, and we are so effing pumped. The one, the only, Michael Ray. Well, we know who's coming. Michael Ray Bauer, but let's play that damn interstitial. Michael Ray Bauer, how the hell are you, brother? You're on mute.
Let me unmute him. There we go. Okay, you're unmuted.
You do that, Deb? Did you mute Michael?
No.
Maybe I muted myself on accidentally. I just got aboard your mothership, so thank you.
You're on the
very
mothership.
much.
Welcome to the show, Michael. Thank you so much for coming on. How you been, brother?
Yay.
I'm alive and blessed, and I hope everybody finds this video healthy, happy, and blessed as well.
Aw.
Awesome. Well, we are excited to have you. You are not only a legendary personality, but you are full of positive energy, and we're excited, and we got so much to talk about. We got Raiders football. We just had the draft. I don't know if you saw the schedule, Michael, but your Raiders are playing my Patriots week 1. I'm just saying if you maybe we could make something happen. If you wanted to get on a plane, I might be able to make something happen. We could talk about that offline. But excited about football season. We're going to talk about all the stuff that you've done, Salute Your Shorts, which I was alluding to, which was one of my favorite shows, like as a 7th grader. I think I was watching it. It was awesome, and want to hear all the stories and stuff about that. Want to just, we could talk conspiracy theories. We could talk hackamania. If you guys aren't subscribed to Michael's channel, Michael had, it was almost like a WWE promo that he cut today on Hackamania, and it was great. It was awesome. And so we can talk about Hackamania. I know there's some personalities in the Hack Dabbleverse, whatever you want to call it, that have, talked about you, and you've always turned the other cheek. You were a respectable guy. You could
not always, but I got to be stronger. I got to learn to laugh at myself more. And sometimes they ain't wrong with their critique, but it doesn't have to be evil, or it doesn't always have to be personal attacks. I'll just say that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, so I guess where I want to start with Salute Your Shorts, because that's what everybody knows you for. Donkeylips, right? I mean, how many times a day does somebody call you Donkeylips? Like, is it like every day of your life, pretty much? Zero?
I mean, unless it's online. I don't really get out much nowadays. I'm sort of an older guy, becoming a recluse. It wasn't that the show wasn't that popular. I mean, it is now because it's 20 years later, but
it's like a cult show, man. Like everybody, like I feel like
not
everybody.
really.
No?
Again, if there's like a million fans out there that watch the show, yeah, it's got a million followers that are probably 30 or 40 years of age now, whatever the case may be. But in terms of ratings, we were following ratings and TV ratings and Nielsen ratings. And our biggest episode that ever aired only received, it was like 218,000 people at one point watching that one episode. Every other episode was like 80,000, 110,000.
Was that the episode when Dina was trying to get sweet with you? Is that episode?
I can't remember, to be quite honest with you, but let's call it the Zeke the Plumber episode. But you know what? I think it was the season 2 first episode for season 2. I think that was the most watched one. But 200,000 compared to shows that I was also acting in, like Wonder Years, Doogie Howser, like they had 18 million, 22 million. Like, so our show is not that big, is what I'm trying to say. But
you were on Friends, right? You had a cameo on Friends one time.
I'm on 3 episodes of Friends with clips that they used from the one episode we filmed. So I somehow ended up in 3 episodes.
Prom, right? Wasn't that what it was? Like,
yeah,
like a flashback.
I played Courtney Cox, or Monica. I play her boyfriend in high school. And we filmed 2 episodes officially, but they cut out the scene in another episode where she goes to a party. But that prom episode that I was in ended up getting voted as the #1 episode of all time on the Friends list as one of the most memorable episodes in Friends history. So I'm basically on the #1, popular, most voted fan show of Friends. And that's so crazy.
And you were on that Jessica Alba show. I saw that picture of you on the motorcycle with her.
That's cool.
Must have been sick.
It was. I mean, that show was called Dark Angel, and that was in the 2nd season. And after that episode, I mean, I met James Cameron during it, and there's a lot of stories behind it. But after that episode, a month after I got back from Canada, Vancouver, I was up there for a whole month. I had my own suite I forgot the name of the hotel, but I had my own suite for like a month and maybe a week in Vancouver, Colombia. I was going out with French girls. There's French Canadians all over the place. I was eating Thai food nightly. We hung out with the cast. I went to strip clubs with some of the cast members. And it's like I felt like a part of the show. And when I got back home, long story short, they were about to make season 3. And then a couple months after that, like, I got a call from James Cameron while I was in my new truck. I bought a Ford Explorer. And long story short, he called me up and he's like, "It's me, James Cameron. May I speak with he goes, "May I speak with Michael Ray Bauer?" I'm in my car because there were cell phones at this time, the big old ones. And I'm like, "Yeah, who this?" And he's like, "This is James Cameron. May I speak with Michael Ray Bauer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, king of the world, go fuck yourself." And then he goes, "Should I call it another time?" And then I went, "Michael, that's probably him. You worked on Dark Angel. You met him in the parking lot. You met him at the auditions. I'm sorry, sir. I was acting crazy."
So what was he calling about?
So long story short, he said, "I know you struggled at first," because he was watching the finale episode or the edits or the cuts or whatever before it airs. And he goes, "I know you struggled at first, but you pulled through like a champion." And I remember my first 2 days with not knowing any of the cast and everything, I didn't feel a part of it.
You were a recurring character on the show?
No, it was just one big episode about me that had a big arc for the future of the show, and I was the main character in that episode.
How'd you get that gig? Like, you
audition? You get a call from your agent, and casting directors, and then
they were looking for a tall, dark, and handsome guy to.
That's what it was. No, short, fat, bald head guy. And then he goes, you pulled through like a champ. I know it was hard at first. He goes, but everybody's a clone in my world. Those were his explicit, I can't even speak, his explicit words to me. And then he hung up the phone. Then about maybe an hour or two later, my manager calls me. Michael, get to the office. I'm like, why? Get to the office. And they're over there in Hollywood. I have to go over the hill. So now it's like 5 o'clock or something like that. So I go over the office, and then long story short, there was a contract sheet offer to be on season 3 of Dark Angel for 21 episodes at $35,000 a piece.
Nice. Wow. Very good.
And it was a contract offer. It's called the contract sheet. It's an initial offer, they call it. And of course, you can call them back and
you couldn't sign that thing fast enough, right? Like you must.
Well, it was like through a fax or whatever.
Oh, okay.
You're not
my hand would have been shaking like with the pen. I'm like, I don't know if I can sign my name fast enough on this thing.
Yeah, it's not in the actual. I mean, it's the offer. It's like the visualization of it. Oh, and then your agents and your managers will contact them. Yes, well, Michael will need a trailer or a half a trailer, or he'll need brown M&Ms only in his trailer.
Right.
Then you guys figure out the contract. Or Michael wants another 10% for the agent from the $35,000 an episode. But so we didn't get to that point. But it's an initial offer to accept. So you let them know you accept it. So now what they do as Fox, they take all the accepted offers, and then they go to Fox and they go, this is how much it'll cost each episode to make in season 3. So you have a wardrobe budget of this budget, an actor budget, $35,000 to me, maybe $150,000 to Jessica Alba, whatever the case may be. And then it'll cost $2 million an episode. Then Fox has to go, will we earn enough money in advertisement to pay that $2 million an episode? And should we move forward with it? So apparently they didn't see it worthy with the ratings or whatever.
So you got
So the show season 3 never got picked up officially.
Oh shit.
And then they replaced it with a show called Firefly,
which is a cult show, but that also didn't last very long either. That was
they ruined that one as well. They aired episodes out of order. They never showed the pilot first. They showed like the 4th episode first. But long story short, like that was my opportunity. Is $35,000 an episode for 21 guaranteed. That's what, 700,000, a little more than that, plus residuals. That's $1 million loss for me.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
That's a hard part of acting. Such a crazy. That's why people, when you hear people, I can't believe the actor took this gig and he's all in these shitty movies. Dude, you got to pay the bills, man. Like, it's a hard life, because you never know when your next opportunity is going to come. So that sucks.
How do you? I'm not trying to be personal, but like, are you okay with residuals that you bring in now? No,
I made a video. Sorry to cut you off, Deb.
Oh, that's okay.
I made a video the other day because I said what a Nickelodeon actor made in 10 years off of residuals from all my jobs.
Oh, you know what? I did see that.
I only made like $31,000 in 10 years. So that's what, $3,000 a year?
Yep. You know what? Actually, I saw a clip. Patrick Melton had it on about that, and you had made they figured it out. It was like 29.
We don't call him Patrick Melton. We call him Onion here. He's the Onion.
Mr. Onion. He had showed a clip of you, and that's really how I got more to know you, was really through watching Patrick Melton all these years. And
one good thing about the Onion turd.
Aw.
He affected me a lot, so I'm a lot hurt by a lot of things. But he did bring some cool people to my channel, and there are some good-hearted people, from the
Yeah.
Onion people. So there
And
are some good ones.
And you know what? I know he's got in your feels with things he said and hasn't always been kind. But if you were to meet him, he is really a nice guy. And if you ever show up I don't know what you said today about Hackamania. I was out busy today, but I bet if you went to Hackamania, you would be the star of the show and they would treat you like a king. Honest to
By
God.
the way, if anyone wants to, by the way, I'm going to be Michael Ray Bauer's agent for any Dabbleverse shows. Don't be coming at Michael Ray Bauer with these
For
lowball
anything less
offers.
than $3,000,
I was
anything
gonna
less
say,
than
like, you,
3,000.
yeah, Michael Ray Bauer ain't getting out of bed for less than 2 G's. So don't even come at me with these low offers.
I did my
3 G's
first
and above.
convention. I did my first out-of-state convention. I've done one or two in LA area. I didn't really do too well because there's so many major celebrities out here. So at the convention, there wasn't a lot, but I did like a little convention at an arcade event with like 5 or 6 other Nickelodeon actors in York, Pennsylvania in September of last year. And dude, I walked away with like 6K for one day. And I
Wow.
was like,
Nice.
oh my God, is this how much people can make?
Oh yeah, that's great. It's good to
Saved my
do.
life.
It's really good to do smaller conventions like Stuttering John. He had just done one in New Jersey called ChillerCon. And I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think he
Chiller. I've heard of that one.
yeah, the Chiller Theater in New Jersey. Now, I highly doubt he made 6K, to be honest with you. But going to those smaller conventions with maybe less, let's say, high profile people is really good. And, do you ever think about doing, I don't know your abilities to travel. Do you think about doing things like going to conventions across the country and meet and greets and things like that?
I do. That's what I had to do last year because again, I don't make enough income, you know, which people can make fun of me for that, but it's just the truth of my reality, and I have to live in it. But I got a convention agent, and that's what happened. So I was going to do like 2 or 3 conventions, and I finally got a convention agent, and that was the first convention. But I brought the agent that convention or that arcade event. And then she was throwing an event in all Nickelodeon convention called SplatCon in LA. And she was one of the producers of that event. But they did a rug pull. They pulled everybody. They were evil agents, and they ruined it for everybody for that SplatCon. So now I no longer have an agent because I have to fire her after she did that to the fans and everybody
Right.
using our name. And a lot of Nickelodeon actors I brought to her.
Yeah.
And she just rug pulled, and they did everything bad to everybody. So after that happened, I lost like 3 conventions where I could have possibly made $2,000 to $4,000 or $5,000, and it just really affected me. And I don't have a convention agent because as Dan can attest, I have anxiety, I have fears of trusting anybody, and now because of what that agent did to me, I don't know, like. I think some of these other agents are not taking me on because I maybe want too much.
Right.
Well, if you ever need help, if you ever need like an agent on the side, the Dan Man makes deals. I do deals all day long. So you let me know.
Well, I mean,
I'll get you.
you have
I'll
to
get
make
you on the
phone
convention
calls, though.
circuit.
You have to make phone calls to conventions. You gotta pull out of your pocket to fly me there, and then you get the money back after I earn it. Because
Dude, you
the
got
money
name recognition, bro. Like I'm sorry. We get you at one of these conventions, you're gonna make bank. So we
I'm
just
not
gotta
that
get you
big.
there.
I'm not that big, so it has to be a localized like Nickelodeon convention or like with other famous actors. But
These Gen X people, like people my age, they eat the early
The
90s shit. They
90s
eat
and the
it.
early yeah, it's
Hot right now. It's hot as
oh,
hotcakes.
it's definitely hot. That's why I probably made like that $6,000. I made $5,800, I believe, on that convention. But
right.
I don't have the money all the time for all the photos and to pay for my own travel, to pay for the plane tickets, and then hopefully get reimbursed by the money I make. Some conventions don't have the money to pay the actors unless they're the big ones. You know what I mean? So like They tell you, oh, just come, Michael, pay for your own way or have your agent pay for you. You'll make the money back, no problem. But I can't go into a situation like that. I have to have half the money up front, or at least the travel and the hotel and everything. And I'm barely learning the industry. So
Would you want to go on some like Dabbleverse type shows?
No. Not at this moment, but
So
Kevin Brennan offered you like literally, if he offered you like $1,500 for an hour, or even more than that, like or half of the net.
They've already done these offers, man, and they were not genuine. I see it online whenever I'm doing a video. Oh, Kevin Brennan or the Onion people want you. They're willing to give you a computer. They're willing to give you $2,500 to buy you a kitchen, to buy you a this and that. If these offers are genuine, they don't come with stipulations. And if they actually like me and want to support me, then send me half of the money, no questions asked.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
I had heard Patrick.
It's all a joke. It's all an agenda.
Had said on one show maybe a year ago that he wanted to hire you to sort of be his like correspondent. And I didn't know if that did that work out. Do you feel that was genuine?
Patrick lived where you live, right? And is it were you in not Burbank?
I live in the Burbank, North Hollywood area.
Burbank. It is Burbank. Yeah, I think Melton lived in Burbank because at one of your videos you were at like a swap meet or something, or you were walking around. He said, oh yeah, I remember that. I used to live near here. I used to walk by here. He was talking about.
Yeah, he did. He lived in Burbank because Josh Denny inherited his apartment when he moved out. That's where Josh Denny lives, up in Burbank.
Excuse me.
So yeah, he did. He lived in Burbank for a while. So I
just don't think people are genuine. Again, I have to see a little bit of their heart. Maybe Patrick Melton he's a fan of mine. He loves me, just like Stilto. That's what it is. They are infatuated by me. That's why they always talk about me, watch my videos,
right?
Want to, make fun of my chairs, my kitchen setup, my toilet tacos, whatever.
Toilet tacos is classic.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
it's good. It was fun. It was funny.
I don't want to admit I'm a lol-cal sometimes, and I don't want to be one,
but
I am.
Can I tell you, Michael? You know what's funny? I'm going to tell you why you're not a lol-cal. Because in order to be a lol-cal, we'll use that air quotes, you have to have
to be quite honest with you. I just know it's people that they make fun of or that are really weird on the internet.
But most people that are what you would call a lol-cal don't have any self-actualization. They don't understand they're not true with themselves. We use Steel Toe as an example. Not that he's necessarily a lol-cal, but he's very serious and he doesn't realize how sometimes he comes off. But you are very interesting.
I started to notice he lies a lot. I had never noticed that before, but I've been watching some videos after the Hackamania, and he'll say one thing. Oh, I never watched this video of them doing the text messages. He'll be like, I've never watched this video of him doing the text messages. And then 2 seconds later, he's like, oh, watch how the Onion guy and the Carl guy, watch how they react. Oh, their faces are so stupid. I thought you didn't watch it, Aaron. A minute earlier, you said you haven't watched it. And I'm like, now you're telling us to watch their reactions? Oh, God, Aaron.
Yeah. No, you're not a lol-cal. Like I said, like Dan was saying, a lol-cal doesn't know he's a lol-cal. And he doesn't
even stop to think to consider that he might be a lol-cal because he's so up his own ass, he or she, that they think that they're the center of the universe, and lol-cals often are liars, and they're very narcissistic, and they think everybody believes their bullshit. But you are not like that. You're very humble. You're very honest. You talk about
too honest. TMI. I'm
TMI. Like that's you are the exact opposite. People may poke fun at you, which I think is that's just people being jerks online. I get poked fun at. People are making fun of my eyes in the chat. People are making fun of, I'm bald. People are making fun of this, that, and the other thing. So, luckily
I told Dan earlier, I go like the Karate Kid, show us your baby browns.
Yeah.
Show us your baby browns.
How did you get into child acting, Michael? Was it your parents, or what did you have like some special talent? Were you like an outgoing kid? How did you get noticed by Nickelodeon? How did you get in the Nickelodeon
Actually,
crew there?
back up. How did you, Dan, you stole my question, by the way.
Oh,
But
that's good.
I want to know, actually, before Nickelodeon, how did you get into this profession as a child? Like, what was your first role? Were your parents stage parents, or did you want to pursue this? Did you move to LA? Were you from LA? Things like that. Like you know, the genesis of how
The
you
origin
evolved.
story of Michael
The
Ray
or
Power.
Right.
Well, just for context, if anybody wants to watch a video, and I'm not trying to promote, but sometimes it's easier to watch in video form on my channel on YouTube, Hey Bauer. I made a video called How I Became an Actor. It's like a 10-minute video with a lot of clips, and it was all put together very nicely. But now to start this off with a joke, how did I become an actor? Well, all I had to do was ingratiate myself with the Onion people and go on the casting couch as a youth.
The Meltons.
The jokes are that they're all PDF files and whatever.
Right.
And,
Yes.
But no, that's a bad joke. Now that I know a lot about Hollywood at my older age, yeah, I see a lot of things differently. But how I became an actor.
Speaking of Onion people, did you ever meet Dan Schneider? Did you ever run into him over at Nickelodeon?
Is he an Onion person?
He's the foot guy. He likes
the foot
feet.
guy.
Yeah. I've met him on 2 occasions, but I never really worked with him. And I
What-
watched that documentary, Quiet on the Set, and I learned so much.
I wanted to know too, like Brian Peck. Like,
Okay, yeah. So
yeah.
Let me answer how I became an actor, and then we'll get into that. So long story short, I got teased a lot growing up. You know, I'm the fat kid. I have a funny voice, and my dad would work. I was only living with my dad. My mother wasn't around. And then, like, I couldn't go home. I couldn't go home till like 5 o'clock when my dad got off work, or he would come try to pick me up or whatever. So I had to stay at the school, and they had Glee Club, but I was like in 3rd or 4th grade, and you had to be in 5th grade to get in Glee Club. So I would hang out in the audience, watch them doing the Glee Club and putting on the shows. Then finally, when I hit 5th grade, you know, I auditioned to be in Glee Club. I was able to be a part of it. And then we made a play based off of hunger in Africa. And we wrote a play called We Are the Children of the World.
Okay.
And this is where Quincy Jones, and they were making We Are the World
Right.
and all that other stuff. And our school play did very well. We got in the papers. We were making money. Quincy Jones saw it because we are in Hollywood, LA, wherever the take. And they showed up. They watched it. They paid the school to record our play. We got invited to the Children's Museum to perform the play in front of kids. They recorded our album. Next thing you know, my Glee Club, we're in a studio recording vocals for We Are the World.
Wow.
We Are the Children. And then we got invited around that same exact time. We got invited to the White House for like a correspondence or dinner for charity. So they flew my Glee Club to Washington. We performed the play in front of the politicians, and they took pictures of me. I have it somewhere on my website.
Around like hors d'oeuvres, you know,
of me and Ronald. Yeah, it's probably a $500 plate or something, you know, to watch the show and eat food. But when I got back, I had agents and everybody knocking down my dad and my door. We want Michael to be an actor. We saw him in all the press. He's in the play. He met Ronald Reagan. And they're like, oh, you need pictures. You need this, you need that. And I'm like, I ain't got no damn money. My dad was working 2-3 jobs at the time. And then one woman, she said, I'll pay for your acting classes for 3 years. I'll pay for any photographs you need. If you and your family need help with rent money or whatever, I'll figure out a way to, you know, help you out if you sign with me. And then, you know, we looked her up. She was a great agent. She had Brian Austin Green. She had Soleil Moon Frye, a couple other actors, not Fred Savage, but long story short, I signed with her. And then for a year or two, I had to go to acting classes while trying to do auditions for like General Hospital, whatever show commercials they can get me. But I didn't book any jobs. I really didn't for like the first year and a half. And then something happened with my acting school where I finally figured it all out. So my auditions got better. Then I started booking a job after a job after a job. And then now I made my way in the world today. It took everything I got. And then I became, like an actor on a couple of TV shows, and the rest is history.
Was the first big one Salute Your Shorts, or was there anything big before that
well,
really put you on
I
the
did
map?
A-Team. I did A-Team, but I
Okay.
didn't get that job as an actor. God, I got to go over my resume. No, the big one, the first big one,
I just pulled up the IMDb page so I could go through it.
Yeah, go to the bottom one. I don't know what the first ones before Salute Your Shorts were. I can't really remember at the moment. I might have done Wonder Years. No, Wonder Years might have been after or during or at the same time. God, my brain.
Doogie Howser was actually before.
Okay, so Doogie Howser, yeah, that was one of the big ones.
You did Empty Nest. You did Tales from the Crypt.
That's right. There you go.
Webster, even.
There you go. Yep, I was in the finale episodes of Webster.
Wow.
Doogie Howser was cool, man. They brought me back for the final episode of the last season 2 of Doogie Howser. That was so awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, I did want to circle back to, I mentioned Brian Peck. Did you have any encounters with Brian Peck? Were you aware of anything that was going on with other kids? No. Like with Drake or anybody? So
for people that don't know, Brian Peck is a director, a person in the entertainment industry. He was a PDF file, officially convicted, and it came out last year sometime or a year and a half ago that he was the one that abused Drake Bell. Now, I worked with Brian Peck on a movie called The Willies. It was a horror movie that we filmed in San Diego, and at the time, I did not know any of that. I did not know anything about Brian Peck being a PDF file until the Quiet on the Set documentary that came out a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And then it made me rethink all my interactions with him, how he wanted me to stay in a hotel with him, but my dad came on the trip because we didn't have money, but my dad forced his way on, and my dad said, no, you're not going to film a movie in San Diego with these people. I have to be there. I'm bringing your brother. And
are you sad that you weren't sexy enough for Brian Peck?
I make that joke. Look, I do make the bad jokes every once in a while. I kind of make the joke that thank God I was fat and ugly because I was never abused by any of these people. But I had run-ins with, after watching that documentary. I made a video on for members only, but I talked about that whole story, all my experiences. But I didn't know anything about Brian Peck. He was a great guy. I auditioned for him. I would hang out at his house. They would have barbecues. He was living in Jeremy Miller's backyard in a back house. That's the actor from Growing Pains.
Right.
And he was working on Growing Pains. I was going to acting class with Leonardo DiCaprio, who at that moment was on Growing Pains. So I would hang out on the set of Growing Pains with Leo, Jeremy Miller, Kirk Cameron, whoever. And then Sarah Gilbert was on that set as well because they were doing Roseanne. But long story short, like now watching videos and learning all that, like, damn, that's insane.
Were you ever starstruck by any of these people that you met? Like, was there one or two people that you're just like, I can't believe I'm in the presence of this person right now? Like, they're such a star.
Not really. I'm more into sports, so it would have been like football players and stuff like that. But definitely, like, because of my father, there was a moment in my career where I booked a movie for Roger Corman called Captain Nuke and the Bomber Boys. And it was a Roger Corman teenage movie, and it was starring Martin Sheen. And I was the Captain Nuke. I was the main guy in the movie. The movie was all about me.
Yeah. So
there was a moment where I realized Martin Sheen is in this movie, Apocalypse Now and everything. And I told my dad, I'm filming a movie with Martin Sheen, Academy Award winner from On the Waterfront, Apocalypse Now. And my dad was like, oh, like I saw my dad's eyes. Like I was like, I made it big time. Plus I'm starring in that movie. So it's like my first starring role. And I'm working with Martin Sheen. And then I brought my dad onto set and he met Martin Sheen. And then there was one moment. Oh, Rod Steiger was in that movie as well. He's an Academy Award winning
Oh
actor
yeah.
from
Yeah, I
On
know
the
who he is.
Waterfront.
Yep.
He was in Mars Attacks. He's the army guy that goes, "We gotta kill the aliens now, God damn it, now!" From Mars Attacks. But so I'm in a movie with a couple Academy Award winning actors, even though it's a Roger Corman B movie. But I'm in the trailer having a fight and dramatic scene, rehearsing it in Martin Sheen's trailer, and we're delivering lines back and forth of an angrily fashion. Then I had a moment where God or whoever just said, "You made it, motherfucker. You made it. You
Right.
are an actor." And
Yeah.
that was
Oh hell
like
yeah.
the greatest moment and feeling in my life, to be in a trailer with Martin Sheen.
What was the best acting advice you ever got from anyone? What do you still take with you to this day that somebody taught you from acting? Are you a method guy? Do you just get in the moment, or do you try to play off the other person? Do you have
You
like
know
a
what? I
technique?
think I'm a smorgasbord. I do all different things, but I was taught through Young Actor Space, and I was taught just to be in the moment. Method doesn't really work. There's techniques called Streisberg, Meisner. There's a lot
Right.
of different techniques that I've
Oh
dabbled
yeah, I know
in.
the Meisner technique. Yeah, that's the popular one with the New York guys, the theater guys. They all do that Meisner
Yes,
stuff.
definitely. But what worked for me, and I wish I studied all of those more so I can know more. But my Young Actor Space, Diane Harden is her name. She was like, be in the now, and every character is an extension of who you truly are.
Okay.
Every character is an extension of who you truly are deep down inside. So don't become that character 100%. Become that character 75%. And whatever the Michael Bauer that you are living in today needs to go within or underneath that character. So if you're playing an evil villain and he's just evil, no, he's not. He's
Right.
evil, but with a heart that has been labeled, because I have a heart and it's been labeled. So now I'll play that character evil, but there's a heart underneath. So through expression and little emotes, I hope I can show the heart on certain scenes. That's the way you develop an entire movie. But I've never had the parts where I'm always the actor from the beginning of the movie till the end. It's
Right.
always the little line here, the little line there. So you can't really act, you know?
Right.
Hey,
Now,
Michael, I want to pitch an idea to you, and I'm sorry, and then I'll let you go, Deb. Just while I'm
okay.
thinking of it. So Camp Anawana, because we still haven't asked any question about Salute Your Shorts. So I'm dying. I have so many questions about Salute Your Shorts. Deb doesn't like.
Hold them back though. I just want to
You
ask
go,
a
Deb.
couple more
Yes.
questions, and then we'll get into Salute Your Shorts and the football stuff and the different stuff. But I wanted to ask you, Michael, was there a point, you were saying there were many times where you said, "Oh, I feel like I've made it. I've made it." Were there times where you actually did make it, where you could have a better standard of living, and maybe your dad didn't have to work 2 or 3 jobs? You get a nice house or anything like that, or it never get to that level?
No, I never hit the big paydays, if that's what you're saying. I mean,
Yeah.
like I've told other people on videos, I've never hit the big payday. As an actor, they always try to lowball you for a 1-day job, a 3-day job, whatever it may be. They try to get you on. It's called scale.
I know
Whatever
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
whatever
Yep.
the actor's scale is for SAG or AFTRA or whatever union.
get you
But
on the
when
fucking minimum, the union minimum.
yeah, when you have credits though, and you are being seen by producers sometimes instead of going to the initial audition. Sometimes you're being seen by producers and your name is a little bit above the list of some other people. Then if you get a job, before you do the audition, it says he's a higher rated actor. So going into the audition, the producers and the casting director know if they hire me, I'm a higher rated actor, even though they want to pay scale.
Okay.
So so then sometimes you might not get a job because of that, or you will. And but then there's also other jobs where they don't care, they just want to hire the best actor. Then if they hire me and I have like three guest star credits before that guest star that I just booked. Well, if on my last job I did a guest star and I worked 3 days and I got $2,000 for those 3 days, well, this movie that I'm playing a guest star, or this TV show that I'm doing a guest star at, they have to pay me 20% more or 25% more than the $2,000 that I got on my previous guest star. So then I would get $2,400 or $2,500 for that guest star, because within the 6 months I had other guest stars that paid me a certain amount. So if I booked job after job, that rate would keep going up and they'd have to pay it. But again, after 6 months, it goes back to scale.
Right. I know what you're saying. It's like a lot.
So weird.
It's like a lot of different union jobs. You're at a different grade. But I also wanted to. I mean, I'll wrap up the acting stuff real soon.
My biggest payday was the movie Evolution. Because I was coming off of Dude, Where's My Car, and a couple of other movies, and they hired me, and I was rated at $7,000. We wanted 11, but I ended up only getting $7,500 a week.
Right.
And I had like 30 weeks guaranteed for that movie. No, was it 30 weeks? Sorry. My numbers are bad. It might have been 23. It might have been 23 weeks. But that was the most I've ever gotten, like, in terms of a week, and knowing I'm going to get all that money guaranteed for like 10 or 15 to 23 weeks. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. That's $100,000, $125,000.
Right.
But
that's
no,
great.
I mean, nah, I've never really hit the big payday. And I have to live minimalistically. Did I waste money? Yeah, I did. On stupid things. I had a posse. I had a Bauer posse. I went out looking for pussy and all.
Well, I was going to say, did you have a pussy posse?
Yeah, like Leo, right? Like Leo and Kobe and Lucas.
No, you said you did. Dude, Where's My Car? I understand Stuttering John was in that. Did you ever cross paths with him?
I think I did. I just don't remember. I wasn't on set with him that I know of. Right. I don't remember what part he played, but I went to the after party, and then I met that crazy blonde guy from In the Army that does all these drugs. I think he lives in Las Vegas. He's such a weird guy. He was in the Pauly Shore movie, Biodome. He's like a blonde. I think he's mentally really, really bad now on drugs, cocaine and everything. But I don't know if I met Stuttering John at that party. I think I would remember it because I was a fan of, Baba Booey and all that other stuff back in the days. So I don't think I would have met him.
Mila Kunis.
That's the Dude, Where's My Car premiere. Yeah, that's the Dude, Where's My Car premiere.
That's cool. Now, Michael, I wanted to know, a lot of child actors, I've always been fascinated with the how child actors, a lot of them have troubles because when they're no longer the cute little kid, they have trouble getting roles and their lives change. And also because the accessibility of drugs.
Showing me as a pimp. I love it. I love it.
The accessibility of like drugs and different temptations. Like,
do you ever do coke? You ever do coke?
No. I've only had a brownie, and I've had marijuana, and one other drug that I don't need to mention. But like, thank God I had a bad instance every time I've taken an ulterior substance. God or whoever is watching over me made every time I did it, made it one of the most horrific days of my life. So I can never do it again. I'm very grateful.
You ever get any cheap pussy out of being Michael Berry Bauer? Or anybody ever be throw it at you?
Now, Michael, get back to my question. Dan is like derailing the train.
All right.
Don't worry about it, Debbie. I'm here.
I know. No, we're joking. We joke. We're only joking.
There's no time limit on my end.
I appreciate that. I'm only chipping Dan. But I wanted to know, like, did you have any issues when you started to get a little older and now maybe you're not getting calls and things are like, when did things start drying up for the acting? Were you like that? What age did you start seeing kind of a noticeable drop that, hey, nobody's calling me? I'm not booking jobs.
Yeah, it's probably the mid 2000s, like 2006, 7,
Yeah,
2008. That's the time when my life changed as a whole.
right.
I kind of became a conspiracy theorist around 2008. And
Ooh, okay, we're keep don't lose that
Yeah.
train of thought. We're gonna come
yeah,
back
no,
to that.
no worries. I'm just telling you the stories. And then my health I started to have some issues, but my father started to have major issues. He started going blind. I had to stay home and take care of him. I didn't have a lot of money, so I had to get a real job and do some other things. But right before that, like maybe around 2002 or 3, um, I made a video talking about it, how the Illuminati recruited me again, because that's kind of my world. I made a video telling everybody that around 2000 to 2003 or 4, I had my name was on the top of the list for a lot of movies, and I was getting auditions with directors and producers because I was coming off of Evolution, Dude, Where's My Car, whatever other movies or TV shows, Dark Angel, that I was doing all around that time. So my name was getting up there. And
What did
then
they want you to do? Wear dresses or something? Like, was there like a humiliation ritual going on that they
no, but
wanted?
looking back, I've had those happen to me.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I had a humiliation. I can't even speak.
I know
A
it's a hard word. Humiliation.
humiliation
Yeah, it's a hard one.
ritual happened to me on a set of a movie called Social Misfits. Um, they berated me, spit on me on camera, and it was one of the worst
Wow.
experiences.
Jesus Christ.
And then in Salute Your Shorts, not saying it was a humiliation ritual, but if you want to call wearing a dress or whatever one of those, but I think it's only for black people, in my opinion, that conspiracy. I wore a girl's outfit. I played Carmen Miranda on Salute Your Shorts in one of the episodes.
I think with that, it was just they were being silly. A lot of the shows would do something with like a
There was
silly
a lot of
bit.
silliness going on at Nickelodeon back in those days. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, yeah. But I think maybe that was more innocent. A lot of TV
We
shows
were a good show, though. We
going
were
all
a
the way
good
back.
show.
Yeah.
We were a good show. I spoke about a Nickelodeon executive when we were starting the show and we were filming our first 6 episodes. Now that I watched the Quiet on the Set documentary and I learned about all that stuff, we had an executive that came down to oversee production of our first 5 episodes, I believe it was. And he befriended me, took me and my good friend to Universal Studios, Disneyland on the weekend, and then he invited us up to one of his hotel rooms to watch one of the latest movies that are in the hotel room and have popcorn and all that. And nothing happened. We were safe. But the next day after that hotel invite and everything, I told the producers on the show what had happened, that we were invited and we went, and the guy brought out alcohol, long
Yeah.
story short.
Yeah.
And I'm there with my 16-year-old friend. I think I'm 16 at the time.
Yeah,
Long
the
story
Jesus
short,
you're showing is like Michael Jackson. No,
but I didn't really
definitely not.
realize it, what was going on
Right.
back in those days, that I might have been trying to be groomed or whatever. But we got out of there. Everything was fine. And I told the producers on our show the next day, and that guy was fired, kicked off the set,
Right.
go back to New York, motherfucker. And he might have been the person that brought in Dan Schneider and those other people. I
Yeah.
do not know. But he was never a PDF file officially. I followed his career
Mhm.
because when I told the story about a year ago, I didn't want to make him out to actually be one if he wasn't, because there was
Right.
never anything on the courtrooms or anything about this person. Nothing happened with me, but it was a scary situation, and all of that stuff flooded back to me. But we were a good show. Our show fired some people for any little things,
That's
drugs,
good.
this, that, whatever. They were
Did that one
removed.
kid get fired for drugs? The one kid that was only on the first season? What was his story?
No. I think his mom had cancer. They lived in Hawaii. His name is MacArthur. His grandfather or something is that famous general MacArthur.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Eric MacArthur
Yeah.
related to Douglas MacArthur.
And
Wow.
so that's like his grandfather or something like that. And he had to go to school in Hawaii. His mom had cancer. They couldn't travel.
Right.
So he wasn't able to do the second season.
Now, do you know? I put up a chat. Hi, Reverend Billy. Do you know Adam Bush? Now you see him.
He's hit me up in emails recently. He's apparently an actor from Nickelodeon movies as well. I don't really know of him, and he's on that What Are the Podcasts?
Who are these podcasts with Carl? Yeah,
he's a little bit of a groomer of a different kind.
I don't like those dudes from what I've seen.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I do like those guys. Yeah.
But you have to put yourself in Michael's shoes because Carl.
No, I do.
Carl
I
has
do.
goofed on Michael, and Adam's trying to get in with Michael so that they can. Adam Bush, and we would have him on the show. Just full disclosure, but
I did reach out. He's
a little bit of a phony baloney. He's like a little mirror kind of type. Where
he sent me all these good words in the email about a week or two ago. I'm an actor.
He's gonna butter you up. So that you do.
But I remember the videos that Carl and all them did, and making fun of certain body parts of mine and all that.
Right. That's not right. Yeah.
And he did say nice things about you. I did see one of the episodes where they were talking, but there is a little bit of he's kind of one of these sort of, wink, wink in the camera kind of troll kind of thing.
Anybody involved with the super tips or the onion people? I don't know. My Mikey radar's up.
It's a Dabbleverse, though. That's kind of everybody's sort of trolling everybody a little bit, and
But that's a good concept. That show, from the name.
Oh,
are these podcasts?
Who are these podcasts?
Yeah, who are these podcasts? They could do clips from millions of different podcasts,
and they have.
I think they're just focusing on one thing. Broaden your horizons. Stop making fun of one person or two people constantly. You could have a different show every week with introducing amazing podcasters that nobody would ever heard of, but they choose to go the negative route. And I don't like that. Show some positivity, some interesting yet funny people. Show it.
Right. Hey, everybody kind of got caught up in Stuttering John, and now that Stuttering John's taking a break, I think he's working to come back.
But now he's the most famous person in the Dabbleverse. Let's be honest.
Right.
That's the guy. He's the guy that actually has the real credits.
Right.
And all that.
And
that's why they all look up to him.
I think now they're looking to pivot to different things, and they're sort of critiquing people within the Dabbleverse more. Like Steel Toe is part of the Dabbleverse, whether he likes it or not, and different things like that, like Chad or whoever. So.
Soup Party has a nice comment. Michael is just a great guy. I'd like to see him get along with the Dabbleverse. I think there's a place for you here, Michael.
I'm dabbling in the Dabbleverse recently.
Yeah, but you've been dabbling.
Again, I reserve the right to, figure out people that I want to mesh with or talk to or associate with. I reserve that right.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, if somebody's picking on you and being mean-spirited, why would you want to go on their shows or talk to them or associate with them?
Yeah, I would like people to befriend everybody first, but whenever they go into anything with ulterior motives, it's not good. And
did you ever see Ray DeVito's show? Do you know Ray DeVito?
I only watch a few clips here and there. I don't have the time. I'm too busy watching TV shows like Andor or this or that or movies or to really watch actual podcasts of all these different people. But I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest. Some of them are very artistically creative. They got sets. They got designs. They got logos. They got special effects. They got audio this, audio that. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers got talent. All of you. And I'm like, yet you're choosing to make fun of one or two or three people constantly. You know the type of movies or skits you could actually create? Like, oh my God.
Or even a talk show. Like we're leaning into more interviews and getting away from playing clips, because by the time we come on, any clip we want to play has already made the rounds, and by the time what do we really have to add to that? It's already been said.
Create a show though. Like, I mean, I don't mind. Like, I'm probably going to do that for the future. I'm probably going to make a segment called Dabbling in the Dabbleverse, where I'll watch a clip or two and
Right.
do what the Dabbleverse does. Critique it, make a joke at the situation. I try not to make jokes at the people. I don't think that's worth it. But at an event or the situation that they created or whatever, I'm going to do that. So I think I'm going to make a segment called Dabbling in the Dabbleverse. But like, I wish I could actually produce a show where like it would be more than that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's just a little gimmick I do monthly or something like that, you know?
We're
Now
gonna come back.
I know. I keep. I'm
you're
keep
killing
jumping
me,
on you.
Deb. I want
I
to
know. I'm getting you back for the Earl one. The Earl show. The last thing I'm going to ask you is, I know you have your struggles, and you're living in a tiny apartment, hence the toilet tacos.
Debbie,
and
why? Why you got to? It's okay. It's
No.
out there. I'm just messing.
No, I'm saying.
Don't remind me though. I already
No,
feel bad enough.
No,
I already
you
feel bad.
trying to help him escape
don't
from his
feel bad.
tiny
Don't
apartment.
feel bad. You have
No,
a
I'm
roof
blessed.
over your head.
I'm blessed.
Okay, and you're blessed for that. And every day you wake up is a good day. So don't worry about, like I said, your apartment or anything. Plenty of people live in studio apartments. Plenty of people. There's people in LA. This living under a bench. So I wanted to ask, like, where do you go from here? Like, what are your thoughts? Are you done with acting? I know we talked about conventions and things like that, but what are you kind of thinking of? Do you just want to do streaming, or like you said, the conventions are difficult to do, and you don't know what the payoff is, and they're not going to pay you to go out there. So the conventions right now seem tough.
Again, I don't have the answers, Debbie. I mean,
I understand.
I ask myself these questions every day I wake up, and then I'm like, what are you going to do? Again, I'm always going to be dabbling
Right.
in the acting world. I need to find a new agent and or a manager. Auditions are at home nowadays more so than driving to locations.
Okay.
So I
still.
can do that.
Okay.
But I need to move out of California. I literally, with whatever little income I make, I can't live here anymore. I mean, I'm paying basically $1,200 for a studio apartment with no kitchen. And I can live like a king in another country for $1,200 a month. Or, I can probably get a house or a 1-bedroom in another state and still save enough money to buy a car. I mean,
it's hard though.
Brother.
It's hard though.
Where to go?
You know what though? It's hard to move. People always
it costs like $3,000 to $5,000 to move no matter what.
People always tell other people that are, in a rough spot, they would say, just move. Well, you need to pack your stuff up. You need a way to you got to get a truck or movers. You need your first month, last month, all that money. Travel expenses, and you got to buy everything like the cleaning supplies and all that stuff. It's really hard.
Oh, of course.
And I hope I didn't bring you down with that question.
But I ask myself this every day. Trust me, Debbie, I'm in my head so damn much. That's why this is a relief.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, would you, somebody in chat said, would you want to pair up with somebody like Tukey or the Potato or whoever?
I have a bad trust, and I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I'd want to do something on my own or with somebody from my group.
Right. I understand that. And now I thank you. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Dan. I took it over tonight, and we're going to talk about
Debbie.
Don't
let your insecurities get to you. They get to all of us.
I know. I'm not insecure about that, but
how about this? I want to pitch an idea: the Deb, Gina Bobina, and Michael Ray Bauer show.
That would be yeah. That would be nice.
I do love women. So
yeah,
I know.
I appreciate talking to beautiful women and hanging out with beautiful women. So there you go.
Chrissy Mayer, if Chrissy Mayer reached out, would you do her show?
She has, but unfortunately, I had a scheduling conflict.
Right.
Because I was doing Keanu's show.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw that.
And Chrissy wanted me at the same time that I was going to do Keanu's show. And then Chrissy, I told her I'm sorry, maybe at a later time. And then Chrissy's like, well, I don't know. And then I haven't spoken with her.
Oh, it's too bad. She that would be a great show for you to go on. Getting more for you into politics and conspiracies. I think that would be a perfect show for you to try to get back on.
What does the name Simpcast mean? Is that means a bad man or something like that?
No,
Like
no, that's like you're simping, like you're gooning for like a women. So that's that one.
Gooning.
I guess I don't know. That's the
Gooning
word.
is a little
why
bit
do
more
they
of a
call it
drastic
simp?
term than sipping. Gooning is like physical, completion.
Well, whatever.
I just don't understand why women do a show and they call it Simpcast.
Because the
Well,
men are
they
the
misnamed it.
simps.
It doesn't make any sense. You're right,
But there's
Michael.
no
It doesn't
men
make
on
any
the
sense.
show simping.
The
Yeah.
men are
They
in the
want
chat.
they want you to simp for them,
In
but
the
it doesn't
chat.
make
I
any
got
sense.
you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. And so it's a popular show. They get super chats because the guys like to, the guys like to look at the pretty girls and
Yeah,
stuff.
they are pretty.
Yeah, so
Some of them are very, very pretty.
yeah.
So speaking of pretty girls, so you had some cuties on this cast, and I know you were a young teenage boy, but like, did you ever have a crush on anybody from the cast? No, you never did.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I never did. I mean, we all know that the girl that played Dina, Heidi Lucas,
Was hot,
I mean, that she's going to
gorgeous.
grow up to be a beautiful adult. You can just tell by the features.
Yeah.
I mean, we all knew she was pretty, but I think growing up, I don't know, I wasn't really into girls that much. But I did the show when I was like 16 or 17, and I didn't really like delve into women that much. But the actress that played Zizi, the older she got,
She got
throughout life
prettier as she
after
got
the
older,
show,
right?
yeah,
She was kind of
she's
a
a very
tomboy
pretty
on the
blonde
show.
woman. She lived in, I forgot, Haiti, and she
Oh.
helped out a lot of people over there until the uprisings and the wars and whatever. Then she had to get on out of there. But like, no, I never had a crush on any of them.
What about Venus de Milo? How was she?
She was like my sister. I didn't really have a lot of interactions, and I'll just be honest with black people growing up. I was sort of segregated unofficially because I was either hanging out with Mexicans or whatever. But
So
like,
was she the first black person you ever met, like as a kid?
no, not that I ever met, but like just that we're hanging out all day together and we're learning about each other. We're starting to play with each other, and it wasn't about race. She became like in my mind, like my little sister. Like I enjoyed her company so much that on every episode in the intro theme song, I hit her in the face at the end of in the beginning of the ending of the intro song. I hit her. Watch it. Like we became like they're pulling pranks and jokes on each other. That meant we liked each other, maybe not physically, but like we just enjoyed messing with each other.
How was Butnick? How was Danny Cooksey? Was he a cool dude?
I mean, he's a good dude. He was like an adult though on the show. Like he would hang out with the adults and other stuff like that because he had a lot of like experience, with rock and roll and different strokes. And has a little bit of an attitude. We got in many fights.
He thought he was a little better. He thought he was a little bit better than everybody else on the show, right? He thought he was the hot shit. No,
not. I mean, no. I don't think anybody had an attitude like that at all. It's just that he was more, I don't know, like self-owned, or he'll call you out, or I don't know. I didn't agree with him all the time, and we ended up having like little fights here and there, playing basketball, But we were cool. It's like a family. You get in a fight and then you make up the next day. And I hung out with him on his birthdays, went to his house, Levi and stuff like that. No, he's a great friend. I mean, nowadays, I'll be honest with you, our relationship is a little wonky.
Is there anyone you still have a good relationship from? I know there was a couple of reunions, and I saw one of the videos, like you were engaged or not engaged. You were talking to like Venus and some of the other people that were there.
Yeah.
And
no, I think we're all good.
That you're cool with, like, or more than others?
No, we're all good. Some of them are off the radar, like the Sponge character. He came out as gay or bisexual.
Oh.
I don't know, probably 10, 15 years ago, but he's kind of off the radar. I think he lives like in the forest and doesn't go on the internet that much. But we're all good. We lost our counselor, Ugg, a couple of years ago. He passed away from cancer.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, we lost him a couple of years ago. And
he was a great character. He seemed like a funny guy.
Yeah, no, they're all great. I mean, we all, again, just to be honest with you, we all try to keep in touch, but it's like holiday relationships. Every holidays or every reunion, you might talk to one person more than the other.
Okay, so this leads into the pitch that I had. Okay, I want you to remember
my
this,
God.
Michael. If you don't remember anything else from tonight, I want you to remember this. Michael Ray Bauer takes over the camp. So Donkeylips becomes so listen to it, hear me out. I have this whole thing thought out pretty well, actually.
I've heard this 30 times before you're going to tell me. Go ahead. I already
You
know
get
the
independently
ending.
wealthy somehow. So you like make money in the stock market or you whatever, and you become a titan of business. You move to New York City and you own skyscrapers or something. And you hear that Camp Anawana is having
Going out of
financial
business.
difficulties. You come back, you buy the camp, and you are like kind of like you own the camp, and you could have some of the old time people if they're available, they want to come on. If Danny Cooksey's available, he could come in, make a cameo or whatever. But you come back and you are either owning the camp or you're running the camp, and then it's second generation Camp Anawana, and it's like it's basically derivative of the original show. I'm telling you, it's gold. It would so work. You could be the star of it. I'll tell you, ask anybody about Salute Your Shorts, anybody that grew up on this, who do they remember as a character? They remember two characters, Buttnick and Donkeylips.
Right.
All right. You were one of the top two people that everybody remembers. You come back, you own the camp, and Nickelodeon or whatever channel, Paramount or whatever picks it up, second generation, it would be fire. I'm telling you, 90s kids would eat it up. They didn't involve their kids, the next generation. Hey, I used to watch Salute Your Shorts when I was a kid. So write it down, talk to your agent, tell him Dan Mullen came up with it. Tell him the Dan Man came up with it. But that's my pitch. You've heard it a million times though, right?
Just like my real life, do I crush your dreams now or save it for another time when we communicate?
It already got the thumbs down.
No, it's just, first off, it's a ridiculous concept. It's in Hollywood terms, it's overdone. It's the same concept. It's nothing niche. It's nothing different. So that's why it wouldn't work. But again, in the 80s or 90s, that's a perfect concept. But for today's television, it won't work because they want something different. Then on top of that,
they want sexier kids. They want
do
like
camps
Gossip Girl
actually
or something.
exist anymore? Do camps exist?
Yeah.
Yeah, like migrant camps.
Jewish
Jewish kids still go to camp, right? That's big
I mean,
in their
they
community.
still got fat kids camp, possibly. But again, it's not a popular TV subject. And our show, again, as I spoke earlier, is not popular enough to be rebooted. It was never popular enough to be rebooted.
You're underselling it. I'm telling you, Michael, there's a market there.
There's also contractual issues that nobody knows about. Because they never released it on DVD because it will not sell.
Well, you didn't do enough episodes to make it. You got to get 100 episodes. So you were.
Well, we did 26,
right?
Yeah. And on Paramount Plus, when they opened up their streaming service, they only released 10 episodes. Then I kept thinking, oh, well, they're only going to release 10 now. Then maybe 8 months from now, they're going to release another 10. And, to bring customers in. But they've never released any more episodes than those 10. Then on top of that, whenever they do repeat it on Nickelodeon during the summer or whenever they redid it, they only constantly air those 10 episodes.
Okay.
And now you got to think, why?
Right.
So now you got to question, did they lose the actual videotapes or the beta versions in the archives? Do they no longer have them to air, to put on DVD, to remaster, whatever they might do? Or
so they try to create demand, like they're holding it back so that people are going to be.
I don't think they have them. I think they're gone. They're lost.
The master tapes are gone?
I believe so. That's my theory. That's my working theory.
Really? I didn't even think of that.
Because when we were filming the final 5 episodes, they were doing contract negotiations with the creator and the writer and like the producer of the show. He's all one person. And he walked off the show. He walked off the show and probably took some things with him. The editing studio
It's in a
with
fucking
extra
closet
tapes.
somewhere. The tapes.
The editing studio was right there in that studio that we were filming at. And I don't know if he took them with him, or maybe when they initially signed the contract the first time, that they were not allowed to air any episodes. That's why they were renegotiating with him.
They wanted to go with that "Hey Dude" Pete and Pete crap. Oh my god, there was never a show that was as good as Salute Your Shorts. They came up with all this derivative. Keenan and Kel, I guess, was popular.
That was good, yeah.
Some of that other stuff was crap. Pete and Pete, Hey Dude. What were some of the other ones? There was some other. They never were.
La 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 la. La,
The
la,
Smurfs?
la,
I think what it comes down to is it's probably tied up in some kind of legal dispute, and that's why they're not released. I don't think they're missing or lost.
Always the fucking lawyers. They always ruin every good thing.
I don't think, honestly, I'm gonna go against Dan's idea, because sitcoms are kind of dead, except for the Connors and some outliers right now.
Connors is dead. They aired their last episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Michael Ray Bauer some work here, Deb.
Well, get him on the ChillerCon circuit or the conventions.
Okay,
let's get him paired up with Stud
Or
Show.
any Dabbleversers, $200.
Yeah.
I'll be on your podcast one time.
No, thousands. Nice podcast stupid at gmail.com. 3,000 or more. We'll get. I will broker the deal for you. We'll get Michael Bauer on your show.
You know what, though? What I was trying to say was sitcoms are dead. It's more reality TV and things that are cheaper to make. It's cheaper to make reality TV. You don't have professional actors. You can film it wherever, outside, whatever the premise is for the reality show.
Your shorts in 5 years. Watch.
And people don't.
AI Butnick. They probably have an AI Michael Ray Bauer at some point.
Yeah, I found out. God, I forgot the number, but I think it was $1 million that it cost every episode of Salute Your Shorts. Or it might have been 100. No, it had to have been $1 million. I think our producer said in an interview that it cost every episode $1 million to produce Salute Your Shorts. And now I'm starting to think, where did all that money go? Because, that doesn't seem right to me. Maybe it was $100,000. I got to go back and find that video or that book. But
right.
Do you think Venus DeMilo would do the show? Do you think if I reached out to her, do you think I could get her on here?
Yeah, of course.
Stuff to promote. She seems like
if you want me to get you in contact with anybody, they might require a few bucks, because a lot of us are hurting, though. To be honest with you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be fair enough. Yeah, definitely.
You should do a reunion.
That would be awesome.
We'd do like a virtual reunion. I would love it. We'll get Dina. She's a lawyer
I would love
now,
to
right?
do it. I don't know how to put it together personally, but
dude,
you would have to have a host.
Get in touch with a couple people. Dude, you're looking at the host right here, man. I'll coordinate this shit. We'll get everybody paid. We'll do a pass the hat. We'll get everybody some loot. We'll do an hour long Salute Your Shorts reunion.
Well, yeah, you could do it private. Like, I know we're spitballing here, but without you paying or anybody, like, it sucks that we have to do everything behind a paywall, but if you did it behind a paywall, like everybody pays like $15 and then we'll take questions from the audience or whatever, like that could
work.
It
Salute-a-mania.
No, yeah. Well, we'll save that for DevilCon.
Oh God, I don't even want to think about devils and.
No, I said DevilCon. That was
Little Debbie.
Little Debbie's a convention. Everybody seems
to really good, Little Debbie. It's really good, really chocolatey and creamy.
How do you feel about the Raiders draft, Michael? How do you like it?
I love it. I love it.
Right?
Yeah, we finally got big boys in the
running back.
Say it again.
The running back they got, Genty, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they get him?
I love it. I love what the Raiders did. We finally got big boys in the room, and they doubled down on so many positions. Like, we need defensive linemen. We got good ones coming back, but they're all injured. So they took like 2 defensive tackles, and then they took like 2 wide receivers, and then 2 quarterbacks. One of the quarterbacks can be a wide receiver, turned into a wide receiver. So I like what they did. I really do.
What do you think about that upcoming movie there with Nick Cage as John Madden? That looks pretty sick, right?
It's very interesting. Christian Bale, he looked really good as Al Davis. Nicolas Cage, he looked good with the makeup, but I don't know. I don't see the true spirit of John Madden in Nick Cage. But
It looks
he's
a
one of
little
those
clownish.
that will just might do it and put it all together. So I should have been him. I'm a Raider fan. I'm an actor. I should have played Madden. Boom. Tough acting connected.
Christian Bale though will be a great Al Davis.
Yeah,
I think
he's gonna
that's
be a
a
fantastic
great
Al
casting.
Davis.
Yeah, I got a speed round here for you of Raider questions for you. And so it's more fun, but let me throw it up on the screen here if I can find it. I'm a Patriots fan, as I mentioned before. So
Yeah.
one of these questions is about that.
Was it a fumble?
That's what we're gonna ask you. So let's start off first. Mark Davis's haircut. Is that fashionable, or is he something going on? Is he CIA? Is there some kind of trick there with the hairdo? What's going on with his hair?
Unfortunately, that's a fashion choice because he grew up with an overbearing father who never had any time for his son. So his mother, she didn't have much skill set in doing that, and they just put a bowl over his head and they cut it.
So he's just been getting
So
that
he
bowl
grew
cut
up. That's
forever.
all he was growing up. But now he owns the team pretty much, and he's got a new stadium. So he's got a stylist. He's looking
You got
okay.
Tom Brady as an owner, right? Tom Brady is part
Yeah,
owner?
fucking Patriots have taken over our fucking institution.
Well, at least you don't have Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. You don't have to worry about that. So
At least we don't got
Geno
Josh
Smith.
McDaniels.
Yeah, we get Josh. Hopefully he'll be good this year. The tuck rule. So that's the one that always, is sticks in the craw of Raiders fans. Is it fair? Was it a fumble? Was it a tuck, or is it a complete war crime of a call? What say you,
It's a
Mike?
football war. It's a football war crime. They pulled that rule out of their ass. I made a conspiracy video on my channel many years ago, and I had a lip reader read exactly what the damn referee was talking on the sidelines through the video, and he's saying, "Can we do that? Is that legal? Are you sure?" And they pulled out an obscure rule that was never used 15 to 20 years before that point, and they called it not a fumble, that he was tucking the ball inside your hand. Now, let's just
Josh from
think about
Jersey
it.
says the tuck rule as existed was called correctly. That's what Josh from Jersey says. But
It was in the law
I
books,
agree with
but
it was kind of bullshit.
for, I think it was 12 or 13 years previous. That call was never made the previous 10 years or 12 years. So, and the lip reader told me that even the referee was like, "What? We don't know. What do you want to do?" So they told him something. He's like, "Are you sure?" So his eyes raised in the video, and he goes, "Are you sure? You want to do that?" I'm just saying.
That's an interesting
NFL versus Al Davis. We know that history. Referees versus the Raiders. Then on top of that, their golden boy that year was Tom Brady coming out of nowhere to lead the team to a possible Super Bowl. Then that was the year of 9/11. They needed the Patriots in the Super Bowl for the red, white, and
now
blue.
we're talking. Yes. Where's the applause, Michael?
Play the Chad air horn. Dan,
USA.
Dan, the only thing I know about the tuck rule is that we probably would have to ask MGD about that.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Is that Machine Gun Kelly?
No.
Who's the better heel, Al Davis or Vince McMahon? Who's the better bad guy?
Oh man, you know I'm gonna say Al Davis, but it's honestly, in general, it's Vince McMahon because that's some evil shit he done to so many people.
Yeah, he pooped on that one girl, right?
To create, well, yeah, not only about that stuff, but man, the shit he did to create, WWF or WWE into what it was. I mean, he's a genius too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he did
Michael?
evil shit though. He had to do evil shit, man.
Did you see that documentary, Mr. McMahon, on
Not
Netflix?
yet.
Check
Not
it
yet.
out, Michael. It's very interesting, and he's got some stuff going on.
Oh yeah. Again, it's sad that you have to be that evil to like make a one-of-a-kind business, and then he started to buy out everybody. He wanted no competition.
He bought all the
Yep,
territories.
Michael knows. Yep.
Amazon's doing it. That's what all the corporations do, man. They just try to get rid of everybody. They want to own it all.
Who was the worst Raiders QB of all time? There's a lot of good candidates.
I mean, I can throw out the easy one, Jamarcus Russell. Yeah. But
Marcus Tuiasosopo?
Maybe. No, he was pretty decent at times. Nowadays, people will say, Derek Carr. Even though he's the all-time stat leader, statistical greatest quarterback in Raider history.
Oh, here we go. Look at this.
I'm going to go Todd Marinovich, maybe.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good call. That's a good poll right there. Todd Marinovich, he sucked.
And Aaron Brooks.
Oh yeah, Aaron Brooks. Aaron Brooks had like one good year with the Saints, and then he like everybody's like, oh, he's good, and he was never good again. So Adam Goldstein, Donkeylips sinks ships. Can you say that 4 times fast?
I'll try. I don't give a fuck. I know it's a joke. I have a major list. Donkeylips sink ships. Donkeylips sink ship. I can't do it.
Yeah, don't give a fuck. So you were talking about conspiracy theories. So you were talking about Illuminati was one of them. What are some other like big conspiracy theories that you have? I'm a big conspiracy theory guy myself. So you talked to 9/11. What about the moon
calling
landing?
them factual? Factual.
Ooh, okay. I like
that's what it seems like it's happening nowadays.
Okay, so what's factual? What is real that nobody believes? What is something that you know people say is conspiracy theory, but you know, heart of hearts, it is truth, it's real? What are some examples?
Well, just to start it with this, everything is a conspiracy theory. And do you understand the meaning of the word conspiracy theory? If you're going to talk about a conspiracy theory, you got to start with the word. Where did the word derive from? What does it mean? What's the official definition? And it means 2 people or more conspiring to do something. It
like
doesn't mean evil. It doesn't mean evil. It just means 2 or more people conspiring to do something.
A cabal, a confederacy,
syndicate.
It doesn't have to be evil. It could be making a corporation. So it's a conspiracy theory. Everything is a conspiracy when it involves 2 or more people. That being said, George Bush created that word right after the JFK assassination. Why? Because everybody wanted to know what really happened. They started to have some issues with it, the story, and then all of a sudden the CIA came out with a document on the report. Oh, there's nothing but conspiracy theorist people claiming this happened. And that's where the word started, from George fucking Bush, the CIA agent of all time. He also created NASA. He brought in the fucking Nazis to create NASA. I mean,
here we go.
It's all George Bush.
Okay, I like where you're going with this, because George Bush. This is people don't acknowledge this enough. George Bush Sr. Now we're not talking about George H.W. Bush. We're talking about the senior.
He's all involved with the JFK stuff and created the CIA. He's the one that created the 3-letter agencies that started to run the world.
Yep. You're speaking way too much truth right now. So you say the CIA? Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah. So let me go back to now. What did you say? What conspiracies that I personally believe are factual?
Yes, please.
Well, there are fake events that happen. There are hoaxes. There are, what are they called? False flags that happen.
Like distractions.
They happen all the time. So
some may say something happened during World War II, but we're not going to go there.
The moon landing, let's start with the one.
Okay. What happened with the moon landing?
It's all faked, whether it's filmed in a studio. They even made a movie a year ago that came out on Amazon or something.
Right.
Fly Me to the Moon, where they try to show you that it was real. But this is why, if evidence in the future comes out that we filmed it in a studio, if any evidence in the future comes out like that, it's because we had to fake it, because the film cameras, we didn't know they would work. If anything went wrong, we would have the videotape that we faked it. That movie is called propaganda. That movie, Fly Me to the Moon, came out to have the people that thought it was a theory. Oh, you know what? Now I know why they say they faked it, because NASA admitted they faked it. But they admitted faking not the original event, but they admitted filming a secondary event
Bingo.
in case they needed it. So
What about
now
the
they're
Space
off the
Dome?
hook. Now they're off the hook.
Have you
It's
heard the
ridiculous.
theories about the space dome, that there's no space? It's just we're just in a big,
Yeah, I mean the firmament. There's if you believe in the Bible that we live under a firmament, that you cannot pass it. In the Bible, it says heavens and waters below and waters above you can never pass. Well, why does the sky look blue? Is it water? Is it plasma? Is there a firmament? There's videos online with people creating their own rocket ships trying to go up, and you hear it hit something, and it goes. And then these rockets that fly like NASA, they always go at an angle.
yes.
And then the camera, remember? Early in the days with the NASA space shuttle missions or whatever they were called, the camera would turn and then it would look like the ship is going at an angle. And then why are all the NASA institutions above water? Well, you can't track video footage and prove it's a fake space shuttle, that it's actually an airplane and it's not going in space because it's flying over water. You can't have cameras on boats to prove that it might be faked, that it looks like it's going up and then it becomes like a plane and it labels out. That's why they do all these stations above water.
What about Antarctica? You got any theories on what's going on down there?
Yeah, there's possibly pyramids or black cubes under the waters and aliens and stuff like that. I mean, again, I have no facts. I'm just going off of theories.
You big UFO guy?
I was, but recently, like I said, I started to believe space is fake.
Okay.
Like I just
It's all a big psyop. Like they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes with the UFOs.
I just don't know. Again, there's videotapes and footage of actual astronauts saying we've never been past low Earth orbit. We've never went past low Earth orbit. Even Obama says it in a press conference in 2008 or 9 or 10. He goes, one day, hopefully, we're going to build our program and we can go past low Earth orbit. Where the fuck is the moon?
So
is the moon in low Earth orbit?
So that's like with these space flights now. These like with the one that Bezos does all the time, and the celebrities go up. They were just talking about Katy Perry kind of being foolish on that. It goes into that lower Earth orbit, and then it comes down. And why, Michael? Why do you think? Now, back in the 60s, we were able to get to the moon apparently. But now in the 2020s, we can't. And like, isn't it? Think about it. They fly to the moon and they have a Jeep that they drop and they land, and you don't really see much stuff kick up. What do you think? I mean, it really makes no sense that we can't. They
lost all the technology.
They lost the technology, like they lost those episodes.
Yeah, there's actual NASA science technology people. Oh, we'd love to go back to the moon, but we lost that technology years ago, and it'll be a real hassle to recreate it. Huh?
Dude,
but now they're trying to do that
again. Like
now they're trying to do that. They're going to the moon next year or in the next 2 years. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah. We're going to go back to the moon 80 years later or whatever.
Yeah, because now we got the editing, the special effects. NASA bought a building that was a movie studio in Texas next door to them that was producing space movies. They bought the studio. Now it's a part of NASA. So now they have NASA Space Movie Studios.
What about that Space Force? What do you think about what's going on with that whole thing?
It's another CIA company to make money from the governmental faction and from tax dollars just to blind us.
It's a rob scheme, right? It's just a tax fucking
Space Force. Go fuck yourself, Space Force. There is no space.
Just another money laundering scheme.
That's why all these big companies like Amazon, Elon Musk, and all that, they want to create these things for low Earth orbit. Let's be honest, low Earth orbit underneath the dome. They create all that stuff because they also get grants from NASA to make satellites and to put all the stuff in the air. And satellites aren't real. There's no such thing as a satellite. Every picture of a satellite is in a graphic. If you Google it, it's all of a CGI AI printed picture of a graphic. Then when you see it live in the cameras, you only see 10% of it, 5% of it. And then, oh, it moved. Oh, God. And then there's supposedly 10,000 broken satellites flying around space. There's a couple 100 trillion pieces of space trash going around our world. Huh?
Okay, I got two big ones I wanted to. Yeah, space trash. Oh, first, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So talk about space trash. So there's all that garbage in space. What's all that about?
Again, it's supposedly broken down satellites or stuff from adventures that went into the air or whatever the hell. But think about it. If that's true, first off, why don't we see any of it cross the moon? Why don't we see the International Space Station if it's orbiting our planet? Why is there no
effort to pick up the space trash? Why do we just let it sit there? Like, what's going on? Like, we're just gonna let that just sit out? Nobody, there's no like space garbage trucks that we can go up there and just suck it up. Like, what are they doing up there, Mike? I don't get it.
I don't believe it's real. I believe the moon is plasma. If you look at the moon, I believe it's underneath the dome of the firmament. It's in our atmosphere. And if you look at the moon on certain clear, transparent days, you can see stars through the moon. So how is that possible on an entity that is a planet or whatever it is? And then why is there a dark side of the moon that nobody can see? And why is it always that one thing, that one area that we can see? Is it an alien spaceship that's been there for years on the other side? I don't know. There's so many theories. I can't prove any of them, but I love it. I'm fascinated by it, and I don't believe what they tell me. That's all I'm going to say.
What about the Tic Tac UFOs? What do you think about those? The ones that come out of the ocean that they see?
So which one?
The Tic Tacs.
Oh, yeah, the little more. Yeah, I believe that's real. I do believe that's real.
Is that like
they just found a spear?
People that are under the ocean? Like, what's going on? Like,
again, I mean, we have aliens here nowadays. There's the rumors of the lizard people. There's caves and tunnels out here in LA that supposedly, lizard people were living in for years. And it's verified. There's caves with paintings and pictures. And we lived with giants. All the buildings were made for giants. Like the doors are like, 30 feet wide.
The Nordic aliens, right? The tall ones.
Just saying.
Like Nicky Norton?
Our history was made for giants, the old world. Like they had electricity type things on the churches, on the buildings. They had antennas for electricity, for flying vehicles to get electricity. The chimes, the doors are wide for giants. When you walk into like a church or one of these old buildings, we cannot recreate the technology or the sculptures anymore. Everything nowadays looks like a damn brick, and it's all mass manufactured, and we cannot do creativity basically like we used to. It makes no sense.
So you're big into you really believe the reptilian thing, right? That there's lizard people that are controlling everything. Is that what your theory is? Or
I mean, I don't know if they're reptilians, but there's something. I mean, remember that show called V? Where that person was revealed to be like a reptilian. And I believe there's truth in movies and all that other stuff, and they know that stuff before. They just know it.
Remember that They Live movie, the Roddy Piper movie?
You put on the glasses.
Yeah,
but the aliens were kind of stupid. They were kind of stupid looking, to be quite honest with you, with the bug eyes. They could have
done better with the aliens in that one.
But it's a great movie. That movie is like the beginning to the Matrix. It's like you're able to open your eyes. Your third eye is awakening, and you're seeing what they're lying about. Consume, buy me. You can tell I get animated. I love this stuff because my brain is just. When I became a conspiracy theorist or whatever in 2008, that was the worst times in my life, man. And it's like the movie The Matrix, when that guy is being fed steak and they're going to put him back into the Matrix. And he's like, all right, I'll go back. But I don't want to remember anything because the truth is so fucking scary.
What was your moment when you took the pill, like the red pill or whatever they say in the movie?
The Obama event, when he went live on the news saying they caught or they killed Osama bin Laden. I was at home watching the news. I think I was on an actual channel, like either CNN or Fox News. And then they went live to the White House lawn. And then they had a reporter saying, oh, we're going to have an announcement in like a half an hour or something like that. A big announcement. Obama's going to go live. And then kids behind this reporter were being walked into the lawn of the White House. They were being handed flags. And from my recollection, it looked like money, like an envelope. And then all these kids, like college-age kids, were walking on to the lawn, being handed flags. Then I started to delve into propaganda around that time in my mind, and I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing? That's insane. Then I went to another channel with another reporter. Then they started to interview some of these kids, and they're like, hey, do you know what's going on? What's about to happen? I don't know. They just gave me $50 and they told me to go down to the lawn and they let me in. They gave me $50 to be here for this announcement. And then they had like a projector on the lawn or whatever. And then Obama went live later, to the entire country.
There's a lot of projector shit going on. Trust me. There's a lot of images being thrown around that, holograms. I mean, we can go.
That's another theory. But just to end it, when I became a conspiracy theorist, I know I talk a lot. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's great.
But so they aired Obama's speech. And then when I was watching it, in my opinion, he was doing it from the hallway of the White House. Well, why not do it outside? You paid all these people possibly. And it looked like a green screen or a blue screen to me. So, but then he announced that they killed, Osama bin Laden. And the country, everybody, reacted in the crowd. They're cheering, yay, America. Then like a couple of days later, we find out about SEAL Team 6 and this and that. And then we find out that they threw Osama bin Laden's body out of respect for his country or his religion. They threw him in the bottom of the ocean from their boat that they were going to bring him back to America. So they wrapped him up and threw him at the bottom of the ocean to respect his religion. Bullshit. We're America. He was the biggest terrorist, created 9/11, blah, 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 blah. If you caught him, we're going to put him on the fucking rafters in America. We're going to show him to the world. We're not going to all of a sudden respect his religion and get rid of the body.
Right. You're going to parade him around to do the walk of shame.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. Because he's a trophy.
So I didn't understand it. Then some photos started to come out of Obama in the Situation Room watching the event unfold with the cameras from SEAL Team 6. And then there's one famous picture where Hillary Clinton sitting at a table in the Situation Room. She has her hand on the Bible. It says Holy Bible. There's computers with no wires attached. The power buttons are not on. And then there's people at the door watching from the Situation Room. Right. And then there's like a head on the top, a head in the middle. Like it looks like they're on stairs. It looked like a propaganda photo to sell that Obama and Hillary Clinton were watching him get killed. And then the lights are on. There's photographers in the room. If you're in the Situation Room, it's dark. You're watching the screens. There's going to be no photos taken of you. Then on top of that, the straw that broke the camel's back for me was that I could read the words Holy Bible on the photo. Because anything in a camera is reverse.
Right.
How the hell did I not read it with ible ole? But it specifically said Holy Bible. That means it was printed backwards for that fucking photo for Hillary Clinton to put her hand on it that I can read in the camera Holy Bible.
What about Pizzagate?
Then I said, this is a fake photo. What the hell is going on? Then I started watching documentaries. Not Sandy Hook, Loose Change, this and that.
I remember Loose Change. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
You saw the Hillary Clinton emails, right? The Pizzagate stuff. Oh yeah, we got a pepperoni pizza in the basement, that sort of thing.
Can't hear you, Dan.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I hear you, Dan.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Is it
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Michael? He's not on mute. Hi.
I can't hear you. It might be my headphones. Let me transfer headphones, guys.
Okay.
Take your time.
Pretty interesting stuff, huh?
Yeah, he's got some
Yeah.
interesting theories. I'd like to. You should write a newsletter. I like to subscribe. Very.
He's
Art Bell would have loved
he's
this
like
guy.
when Kumia has on Lionel. You know, he's got goes on all these different
Somebody
things.
in chat was saying Kubia's going to get this guy on.
Yeah.
There you guys are. I'm sorry about that. My head,
Oh, that's
my
okay.
head- I think my headphones went dead.
Michael.
You're telling too much truth, Michael. The Illuminati.
Yeah, they
pulled the cord on
zapped
there.
you. They zapped your signal up from those fake satellites. Do you think Michelle Obama is really a guy and that Barack Obama is gay?
Yes, without a doubt. His name is Michael. Obama's children.
Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
we call her Big
Obama's
Mike.
Wife is named Michael. His children are the children of his best friend. They look exactly like his best friend. It's another black man.
Right. I know who
his
you're talking
children
about.
look exactly like his best friend. And there's so many video evidence of Michelle Obama with a penis and balls hanging out on the Ellen show, doing whatever they do.
And do you think he killed the that chef that was like wakeboarding in like 2 inches of water and he drowned? Remember
He drowned in a shallow pool.
Yeah. That was his actually young like gay lover.
Let me charge these headphones just in case these goes out too.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. This is good stuff. I like this.
Yeah, this is great, man.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could talk conspiracies.
41 people we got. They're hanging in.
Yeah.
We're doing the numbers. They don't get no numbers.
Well, we gotta compete with Karmic and
Shmuel.
Shmuel.
I have to have a word with Shmuel because he's going on against us.
He's sticking it. Shmuel's sticking it to us.
Sticking it to us.
I get into conspiracy theories, but YouTube doesn't allow most of it, and when you really go deep, they censor you. So it's like sometimes we don't have a voice. Like the Sandy Hook stuff is so intense. We can't even talk about it here because it involves children, you know.
Oh, and we gotta be careful. You can't say what you think really happened at Sandy Hook.
Correct.
You have to say like, in Minecraft,
$1
allegedly, YouTube. I guess YouTube terms of service and all that stuff. Okay.
And again, if they're silencing it, that just kind of proves it more, in my opinion.
The fact that you can get sued for $1 billion for just floating a conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah, the Alex Jones shit.
The Sandy Hook, that there were some crisis actors going on over at Sandy Hook.
Let's not go crazy, Dan. We want to get our monetization back. We will save that for the Rumble show.
I got the audition tape of the guy that protected the kids next to the firehouse. I have his audition tape.
Interesting. Wow, very interesting.
Somebody broke into his house after that event and found VHS tapes or whatever and grabbed them, and then they watched them, and it was him rehearsing his statement for the press. Wow.
Dan.
Yes.
I have to get up for a couple minutes. Are you playing this now? The Hackamania?
We'll keep talking conspiracy. Okay, let's
I gotta just get up and walk a little because of my surgery.
We'll talk a little more conspiracy theories, and then I want to hear.
Keep going. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay.
Because I got a couple more conspiracy theories I wanted to get off my chest here.
Yeah. Go on with the
remove
conspiracies. I can hear them through the headphones. I just have to take a walk.
Okay.
I apologize, Michael. I had back surgery.
Girl, I need to walk too. Trust me, you're good.
And I can't sit for an extended. I had sciatica, and it's into my foot now. It's healing, but it's into my foot now, and my foot is really throbbing and feeling numb. So I have to let's go get
a Vietnamese massage right after. Problem is, in the middle of it, you pay now.
All right. Keep going, guys. I'm listening. I can hear it through the headphones. So
Shades Cal, come on, 8 p.m. Eastern time every Thursday night. So
don't you know that already, Shades? Come on. All right. Yes, Josh from Joyzy. Sciatica is the worst. I've never had it in my life, and because of my surgery, it inflamed the nerves.
Are you?
Oh, we did this last week. Yeah. I my sciatica. I
got my sciatica. Oh.
You know, I thought the lizard people would help me. All right. Keep going, though. I'll be back.
Shades Cal says you should get one of those Latina mamas to cook you tacos every night.
I wouldn't
They're-
mind.
Yeah, wouldn't be bad. So yeah, a couple conspiracy things. So any thoughts on the pyramids, like the Egyptian stuff, the hieroglyphics?
Well,
Is
you
it
know
like
the new
is it like
announcement.
okay, no, oh yeah, okay. Tell me about
Apparently there's like rods that are lifting them up, or underneath that have like electrical outlets or wires to it, like it might have been an electric conductor in the past.
and the pyramids might only be the top of big obelisks that are like a mile long that go down into that have their own electric currents and electricity shit, right?
Yep, and think about Las Vegas now. When they built the Luxor, I believe it's called the Luxor, it has that big light on the top of the pyramid, and that shedding light. Sometimes they say you can see it from low Earth orbit, space. So maybe that's what it. Maybe they knew what it is. It's an electrical conductor for the old school, because electricity is free. I mean, there's been so many experiments that it's free, that it's all around us and everywhere, but they charge us for it. So they're trying not to.
You don't want to give us
let
free water or free energy. They're
trying not to let that information out.
Yeah, they want to control everything with the oil. They don't want there's green. That's why this green energy bullshit is so fake, because they know.
Can I answer this question? Because Peter Sky Parker is being a little bit annoying. So I'm going to answer this, Peter Sky Parker.
Do we need to put him in timeout, Peter Sky Parker?
No. He's okay. He's just egging me on for an answer about the event that the Onion people tried to pull on me.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about the Onion people. What did they do?
It went to a P.O. box of my friend. So, yes, I got it back.
And what is the Willies, for those that don't know at home?
I was selling stuff from my personal collection because I needed money. And then Patrick Melton made it a whole joke, a whole event, where he was going to buy it. And then he had one of his fans buy it. I mean, they bought it. They paid for it. They won the auction. And then he turned it into a joke, saying he's going to burn it live on one of his shows. Something that I only had one of for my career that I had to sell, because I needed help. Now he's buying it and he's going to burn it as a TV show. He made an event to try to make money and to try to disrespect me. That hurts. If you want me to have it, just send it back to me. Say, dude, we bought it, or give me $50 just out of the goodness of your heart. You don't have to buy the Willie's thing. You could have bought it and said, Michael, here's $50. We're technically buying the Willie's DVD, your only copy, a special orange copy. But we love you. Keep it for your collection. Sell it at another time, whatever. But no, they made it a whole event, and they said it was going to burn it. But he didn't go through with it, so I got to give Melton heart, because apparently he didn't burn it, and then he sent it back, and he sent like T-shirts or merchandise to the P.O. box, and I appreciate that. But it's still, the badness happened before the goodness. So that's why I have an issue.
Shades Cal, who I believe is a Vegas resident, if I'm not mistaken, says, Bauer, you can easily get a job at Allegiant Raiders Stadium, or there's a lot of stuff, a lot of jobs in Vegas that might be cool. I mean, hell, you might be able to be like a bartender. I live in
Vegas, though. I mean, but you're right, though. Vegas is one of those places that I was thinking about moving to, but the Onion dude's there, and I don't know what would happen there. If I'm having a bad day, if I drink 2 times a year, I think. Could you imagine that?
So the Onion guy.
I never forgive, man. I have a hard time forget. I mean, I forgive, but I never forget. It's just one of those things about me.
The Willie's VHS tape, or is there something else that the Onion guy did to you that really sticks in your craw?
Well, it's just he coincides with Red Bar, and Red Bar would do some crazy shit to me. And then Melton is a fan of his, and then Melton just wanted to take on the mantle of Red Bar and to continue, in my opinion, the harassment, the bullying, and the, what are they called? Like tricks or trolls or whatever. It all happened. I don't know, man.
What did Red Bar do to you?
I don't know what else he did to me. You know, 'cause I try to stay away. You get it, but again, it's just he would make a lot of videos. Every time I would release a video, it would be like his show for 2 hours, and I'm like, man, get a life. Like, I'm not that important, dude. You know, so I don't know. It is what it is. But look, I think I've credited him at other occasions. You know, he's a talented dude in terms of creativity and artwork and TV shows and other shit like that, just like Red Bar. But the comedy they're choosing, in my opinion, is wrong.
Now,
And
Tina,
that leads us into Hackamania, right? Because that was your big contention today, is you thought Hackamania was sort of like low class, the comedy there. What was the bone of your contention with Hackamania?
Well, again, if they're going to use me for content and constantly, every time I make a video, make fun of my apartment, my chair, my bathroom, you know, fuck it. They deserve the right to be critiqued by me, and I deserve the right to make a few dollars off of their bullshit. You know, so you know, Hackamania was his event, and you know they sold it to everybody, and it was ash. It was fucking ash.
now, Michael, Dr. Chow here says, ask him about his Raiders channel that the NFL made him take down.
Yeah, I got sued by the Raiders, and they took my YouTube channel
Oh gosh.
because
Shit.
I had a Raider channel like in the I think started 2009 or 10, and then I was doing Raider content. I was making skits. I was doing a lot of things for the Raiders, and then you know I would upload the latest news, whatever videos I can get a hold of, and then my channel skyrocketed. Man, I got up to like 60,000 subscribers.
And they
In
nuked it?
yeah, so the Raiders YouTube channel, they didn't have one at the time. They didn't have an official Raiders channel at the time. And all of a sudden, I get, you know, these flags and copyrights on all of my videos. And then I proceeded, I thought I was doing, what's the word? Fair use, this,
Right.
that. You know, I thought I was doing all that stuff. So I contested it. And right around this time, I barely started to earn income. I didn't know how to earn income on YouTube. So this is around 2012 or something around that time. And then I started to earn income. And then I had a couple of months where I actually earned income. I was hitting like $3,000 a month. One month I had $5,000 a month. I was like, oh my God. And then like, that was it. All of a sudden, flags, copyright.
They don't want anybody
blah,
making
blah.
money off the NFL if the NFL isn't making.
So that's
it.
what happened,
Right.
because I became the big boy on the block for the Raiders. And then right at this time too, another Raider channel started, and they called themselves Chat Sports, the Raiders Report. And they were trying to siphon fans from mine. And I think they presented me to the NFL and the Raiders and my channel. So now they started looking at it.
Basically. They copyright, struck you, and
Correct.
they narked you, tried to stab you in the back, and YouTube gets away. YouTube allows people to do that because it's all automated and you can't fight it.
Well, I fought it. I said, hey, I don't believe I believe it's fair use, this and that. And then all of a sudden I got served with a lawsuit for $500,000. And from the NFL, from their lawyers, from the Raiders and the NFL. And
how did you settle that?
Say it again.
Did you have to settle it, or did they just had to take your channel down and then they took it away, or what happened?
Yeah, so I got the letter, and then I freaked out. So I got in touch with an entertainment lawyer. I wanted to get my channel back because I started to make a few $1,000s now off of that channel. And then so we had, I forgot what they're called, but these meetings with the lawyers. Then they told me, they're like, all right, you can no longer have your channel. You can no longer do videos wearing the color in combination of silver and black. We won't sue you for the $500,000. We'll let you go, but you can't have your YouTube channel. You cannot say any of the Raiders slogans. You cannot wear any of the logos. You cannot wear the colors in combination of silver and black and whatever. And I'm like, my lawyer's like, how is that possible to not wear like a black shirt, a white coat in combination of silver and black? And they're like, well, we own those colors. And then we found out they trademark colors. They trademark UPS brown. They trademark colors. And I'm like, what?
That's ridiculous.
So
Well, the NFL, Michael, I'm sorry to interrupt. The NFL is brutal, and UFC, if you show any of their content, I mean, the NFL won't even really let you technically call the big game, the Super Bowl. They don't really let you refer to it as the Super Bowl. That's why people call it the Superb Owl, the big game, and all. Yeah. So, a lot of these sports are very protective over their branding and their copyright. It's really difficult.
Like right now, Dan, if they wanted to be assholes, you could be sued. Or I could be sued because
I have the Raider logo.
I have the Raider logo, and it's in my hat in your picture. And in combination of also making money, that's a double negative. So first off, you can't even have the logos. It should be like a movie where you got to put a piece of tape out because you're earning income from a trademarked logo. So, but they let me go. I lost my channel. A lot of the followers went to the actual Raiders channel now. They finally built their way up. That Chat Sports channel took a lot of my subscribers and all that other shit. And then I created another channel, and then I think I had a 3-year or 4-year delay or something like that for the lawsuit, but they could come back at me at any given time, any given moment. That's what it said in the thing.
They're bullies. They want you to be scared, and they want you to be frightened because you're little. So they don't want anybody that's going to take money out of they're greedy pigs. Meanwhile, the fans are what makes the sports work. Like they're all these sports are killing the sports. They're going to all die eventually because they're too greedy. They don't respect the fans. They don't want the fans to be able to use fair use like you talked about. And then they bully people that have a good channel. You have some modicum of success, and then they bully you. It's such a sad, pathetic.
And they're bullying him for peanuts in relation to
for a couple grand a month.
Billions and billions of dollars that they.
But I mean,
generate.
Technically, I was using footage and stuff incorrectly. So technically I was wrong, and I get that. Did you know the story of the black hole? Have you heard of the black hole, Dan or Debbie?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a thing called the black hole fan base.
The Raider fans, right? Where they all dress up.
Yeah, there's an area, in a certain stadium. It started like in LA. They were called the Black Hole, and they would wear the costumes, the Violator, the Rilla, the Gorilla, all these other costumes, the Mexican Raider. And they were called the Black Hole. They created a chapter called the Black Hole. And then in the 90s, the actual Raiders sued all of them that they could not even go to the games and be on TV. And they sued them because they were doing charity work and photograph sessions and stuff like that, and getting paid to do appearances wearing the Raiders outfits for parties and stuff like that as the Black Hole chapter. And then Al Davis and whoever else back in the days sued the entire chapter.
Wow. That's fucking lame.
Yeah, that's terrible.
They ended up, they got sued for a little while and everything, they fixed it. But nowadays, they fly out those members, or 5 of them every week, to Vegas to be a part of it. They're finally addressing the fans. But think about it. It's just insane.
Speaking of people they did dirty, what about Chucky?
Good. Yeah, that's that.
They fucked him over
cancel
so
culture
bad.
Shit. Yeah, I don't give a fuck calling them a Michelin man. Michelin tire man. Yeah, you got big ass fucking lips. You fucking that guy that they were talking about. Ridiculous. Yeah, they did him dirty because he called Roger Goodell a name, and they never had a good history. And Roger Goodell wanted to get him, and they got him. And Mark Davis is a little fucking bitch. Mark Davis is a cuck, probably like Aaron Emholt and Nick Rekieta. Mark Davis bowed down to the fucking NFL and Roger Goodell. And
so speaking of cucks, who do you think is the who if we think about the
Dan, I knew you were
Dabbleverse.
going to take the bait. Dan takes the fucking bait.
Speaking of
take the bait. Let's bring it back to the ridiculous.
Hackamania.
Yeah, let's talk Hackamania. Let's talk Cucks. Let's talk Dabbleverse. Like, who do you like? Who don't you like?
I don't know them all. There's too
who
many.
do you respect? You know, what's your for an outsider? Because you're kind of like, you're sort of tiptoeing around it a little bit. Are you, first off, let me just ask you right off the bat. Is Michael Ray Bauer in the Dabbleverse now? Are you a Dabbleverse adjacent character at this point?
Not willingly.
Okay. Do you want to be?
Red Bar and the Onion Guy, they kind of brought me in. So I just figured, if you can't beat them, join them. What the fuck? I might as well make a few bucks, make a couple of videos here and there. And some of it's entertaining.
When I see this today, Michael, it makes me think you want to get in on this.
Not really. I really don't care enough. Like I said, I'm going to use a moment here or there because there are some good people that have found my channel and they're actually being really cool. They're giving me a few bucks here and there. They're supporting me. So I got to like them and appreciate them.
Right.
And sometimes they want to hear my reactions, but I don't watch enough of everybody's stuff to really care, So like I said, maybe once a month or once a week, I'll talk about it for 15 minutes. But on an occasion like Hackamania, I got to take that opportunity to maybe dig at the Onion Guy a little bit because he always digs at me.
Slice up the onion a little bit, right? Peel the onion back a little.
But it's all good though.
Yeah.
Who do I like? Who do I don't like? I don't really know them all. I mean, Steel Toe.
What about Chad Zumock? You like Chad Zumock?
I don't know him that well. I've seen a couple of videos where he makes sense. Then I've seen a couple of videos where he's all over the place and a little bit narcissist, like almost everybody is in the Dabbleverse, always speaking about themselves. Oh, another win for the Toe. I'm the best person in the Dabbleverse. I'm the shit. I'm the Onion Guy. I control this shit. I got super tips. What the fuck? Y'all are narcissists. Honestly, I'm not even in the Dabbleverse, and I'm the biggest fucking star.
You are. If you got into the Dabbleverse right now, especially with Stuttering John having stepped away, you go in and you're like one of the biggest stars. Like, you are a legit.
Yeah, but I don't want to hold that against people.
Person.
Again, in my opinion, they're not only trying to make money, but they're just trying to make shows and they're trying to create comedy and they're trying to create fame because they want to be loved. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be respected for something, for your artwork, your creativity. And we all have that missing within us. And I just think some people are going about it the wrong way.
Who are the examples of people that are going about it the wrong way? Who would you put on that list?
The Onion Guy, and you guys notice I don't like to say his name because I don't want to give people respect when I'm hurting. I don't want to give them the respect of saying their name.
Understood.
What was the question again? Who do I not like?
Who do you think's going about it the wrong way? Who in the Dabbleverse is
everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. Let's be honest. I mean, now I'm learning about you a little bit, and I saw your heart as we spoke the other day, and but the shows that constantly eat their own, like every time one group makes a video, they got to retort, and that's their entire 3-hour show is about that one person. Those are the people that you're going about it the wrong way. You actually have talent to do some other things. Do something different, man. My goodness. I mean, that super tip company is interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's interesting, but he could have made something bigger of it if he went down the legal avenues and finding out how you can use voices of AI and this and that. But again, he has such a bad chemistry. A lot of the actual Dabbleverse people are afraid to even do it because what type of information are they stealing? Are they going to make fun of? Or what are they doing? Because people like that, you don't know. You don't know what their agenda is. You don't know.
Now, Gina Bobina says that, and I had seen the episode.
Gina's a hottie. What's up, Gina?
She is. Yeah, everybody loves Gina.
What's up, Gina?
Maybe you guys got to exchange numbers. Gina's in Canada. Milton offered to send you a newer computer. Is that true? And did he? Or why did you refuse?
I see a middle finger.
I see a middle finger. That means you didn't want it.
No, it's not that I didn't want it. Again, I spoke about it earlier. I don't need to rehash it. If an offer is genuine, Don't have your fans hit me up. Don't use it as content for your show. Oh, guys, I want to give Michael Bauer a computer, but he's got to be on my show. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. I'm trying to help you, Michael Bauer. We're trying to give you a computer. We know you fucking need it. Okay, first off, you're trying to make yourself look rich. You're trying to make yourself look like the fucking savior of my life. And then on top of that, your fans are yelling at me, why don't you take his offer? It's genuine. No, it's fucking not. Hit me up on the DL. But you blew that up months earlier when you did your little antics against me. Hit me up on the DL or just send me the fucking money.
Right.
You know my Venmo. You know my Cash App. Why do I have to have stipulations? I guarantee you were not blocked on my Venmo, my Cash App, or whatever else I had. If you just wanted to send me the money, Michael, I actually respect you, and I wanted to give you this computer, and I saw it was from the Onion guy, I would have contacted him and said, thank you. God bless you. Now we can work together.
By the way, make sure after the show you send me the links to your Cash App, your Venmo. I want to retweet them for everybody because definitely support Michael. Michael's been awesome. He's been a great sport, and not that we're not gonna end it yet. But I want to make sure that we get you money and get you some scratch because I agree with you. Like some of that stuff is empty. It's like, oh yeah, it's all got strings attached, right? With stipulations.
It's empty gestures. Red Bar used to do it to me all the time. When I moved into my apartment or whatever, they would make fun of me. Oh, look, he's living in a shitty apartment. Oh, look at his bathroom. It's dirty. Zoom in. Oh, look at his chair. That's where he masturbates. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I mean, again, it's funny to some people. To me, it's not. It's just not funny. There's more that you can make fun of in terms of the real world than me in my apartment that I have to live in that I'm not happy with, but I'm blessed to be here. It's just, and it's hollow. It's hollow.
Michael
Everything they say they're trying to help me with is hollow.
Sorry, I just had to do the nice clay. Somebody, but
I'm just saying it's hollow though. Like all those things. And Patrick Melton wants to look like the savior. He wants to pretend he's rich. He can save my life. Same thing that Red Bar did. Oh, I'll buy you a kitchen. I'll buy you an air fryer. It's like, what the fuck, man? If you guys care about me, then just do it.
Just do it. Exactly. Are there any shows that you would go on? Would you go on like Carl? Who are those podcasts? Would you go on with Shuley? Would you go on Kevin Brennan? Any of these shows interest you? Ray DeVito or Chad?
I don't know them all, to be quite honest with you. But if they want to pay me a guest fee, and it starts at $200,000.
200,000. You heard it here. It starts at 200,000. Michael, reminder. I'm negotiating for you. Don't put any numbers out there. Like don't pull a Ray DeVito and under sell yourself here. But no, yeah, I'd love to.
But who do you think are good, Dan? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna ask your opinion. Who do you think has good intentions, not a narcissist, not always trying to troll or create content, that actually wants to entertain, maybe not always lightly, or darkly every once in a while, but who in your opinion are good eggs?
Ooh, Shmuel Buckman just came into the chat. Shmuel Buckman right there. This guy
That's
number
a good
one.
Egg. He's not out to troll.
The name Shmuel?
You can schmooze with Shmuel.
And the last name Buckman? You got a lot of bucks or what?
Jake Hudson is always an honest.
Jake Hudson's a wonderful person. And I would say Ray DeVito would be another one.
He'll only give you $25, but Ray DeVito.
Well, I can make that doing my own show without being dabbled by the Dabbleverse show. Probably
Anthony
not.
Cumia on WABC. He might be. I'll tell you, if you could hook up with like an Anthony Cumia, I think you guys actually would hit it off a lot with the conspiracy theory.
I met him. I met Anthony Cumia, I think in Philadelphia. I think he was doing his radio show. Was it in New York or Philly?
New York.
It was New York?
Yeah.
Because I went to a station called WROQ or something in Philly, and they had, what's that actor's name that was a little kid that became like a radio host? He was on the Partridge Family.
Bonaducci?
Oh, Bonaducci.
Yeah.
So I met Bonaducci out there in Philly.
To kick his ass?
They were saying this is where we do the Opie and Anthony show when I went there.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's where it was or they do it sometimes. I don't know.
You know what? I got a perfect person.
But
You-
Jim Norton?
isn't
No.
Anthony Cumia a little bit? He talks a lot about race. I
Not
think
as
I've
much
seen him talk
anymore,
about it.
though. He's kind of backed off on that.
Yeah,
And
he needs to back off from that because right now we're living. They're trying to create a race war, and
right.
it's possibly working on a lot of people, and it's
You
getting
know
really
what?
scary.
You know what would be a good combination to try? Opie and Michael Ray
Ooh,
Bauer.
Opie
Oh
and
God,
Michael Ray
I've
Bauer.
seen some of his videos. He's struggling, but he's got the most beautiful apartment or view in the entire world. But
I think you
he's
guys would hit it off.
I
though.
think
you
that
guys-
would be.
you'd
I
like
think that
each
would
other.
break the Dabbleverse and break the internet. He needs somebody
we don't
to
need,
guide
I
him.
I know what that would do.
He wouldn't
I'm
troll
okay.
you. He wouldn't troll you.
He doesn't know of me. He wouldn't
Right.
care.
He'll. I mean, I think.
I bet he watched Salute Your. I bet he would know who Donkeylips is. I bet Opie would know that, but maybe not. I don't know.
He's angry right now with life in general, and that's a place and people I don't want to hang out with because I could easily be there, and I kind of am, because life is not what I want. Like I didn't expect to be alone in an apartment struggling to pay my bills at 50 years of age, but I'm humble. And I understand that, like, every little thing I got, like even being on today's show, I'm so fucking blessed. He's missing that. He's missing the fame so much. He's missing whatever he thought. He's becoming really angry. And I don't like to see people like that. And that's why I didn't like that you had that MKE guy on your show, because that guy is at a really bad point in his life. And now he's choosing alcohol and drugs as well.
He's
And
cleaned
I'm
up
like,
a little bit though.
He's
to his
got a
credit.
job, a new job. He's doing better. The
Yeah,
one
but
that
some of the videos I saw, man, they just scare me. I can't explain it,
Yeah.
but I need to not watch it. I need to walk away because I feel that pain, and I don't like it.
I'll
You
tell
know
you
what?
one show not to go on. Kevin Brennan.
Oh, you beat me to it, Dan. You want to everything you said about Opie, times 10 for Kevin Brennan. It's not
Unless he
right.
pays you like $5,000 or
I
something.
don't do clips.
Good one. I like that. It's a good reference.
That's a
Unless
great
he
one.
offers you like all the net for the show, like
All
and
the
you-
supers and stuff, then I would do
I don't know.
it.
I heard he does well. I really don't
He,
know. I
he
don't
does.
watch it
Yeah, he
constantly.
does pretty
you
well.
could make money if you wanted to do it, but he's going to use you. That's what you just have
No,
to know.
I know. I mean, I'm being used every way. I'm using you, Dan, in a weird way. Everybody is used in one factor or another.
Right.
Whether it's for positive or negative, we're all using each other. Let's just be honest.
How about a show called Bauer's Beauties?
You know
That's
what?
it.
Hey, Dr. Chow, you're good at Dr. Chow. You
Actually,
Yes.
Dr.
supported
Chow
for a
would be a
while.
good one. You know, it's funny. Do a show with Dr. Chow. He'd
I
be
did.
fun
I
to do
did
a show
one.
with.
He had me on a while back, but I kind of got like they kept trying to get me on,
Little
kind of
Mia?
like you guys are doing a little bit. They kept bringing, why don't you do this show? Why don't you do show? And I was getting irritated. So I was like, y'all need to shut the fuck up. When I said no, I mean no. Sometimes being on another person's show, it sounds stupid. Even if they're giving me $200, $300, $500, sometimes for my insecurities, my anxiety, whatever else I deal with that you guys do not see, it's not worth it for me. Even for $500 sometimes.
Sure.
I can't explain it. So certain people in the Dabbleverse, I'm just afraid of. Not because I'm afraid of them personally. It's just
Right.
I can't explain my feelings in my brain.
But
I got
life's
a
too
different
short
brain.
to have bad mojo, bad vibes. It's not worth the money. You know, like there's too many good avenues, too many good places to go. You don't
And
have
the
to sell your
Dabbleverse is
soul
dead.
out.
I mean, let's be
It is
honest.
dying. You're right.
You guys could be so much more if they would ingratiate or do different things. This eating their own shit can only get you so far. I mean, yeah, the money's flowing a little bit here and there to certain creators, but like, if you do an entire 3-hour show about one or two people constantly, there's no creativity. Nothing is changes. People are going, I don't care about tuning in. They're just going to talk about Aaron M. Hope today. I don't want to tune in. Patrick Melton is just going to make, I said his name. Oh, shit. I fucked up. Patrick Melton is going to make fun of Michael Bauer. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just not worth it. So thank God for the Clippers. I mean, let's be honest. Thank God for the Clippers. You can get your daily Dabbleverse feel with these Clippers. So thank God for them.
Amen.
But what they're doing sometimes technically Is it legal with YouTube terms and services? There's a lot of questions that I have about that, because I think Keanu and Chrissy Mayer had a problem with the Clippers at one point.
Right, they did.
Money or whatever. And I don't mind the Clippers because they're doing work. But if I'm in the Dabbleverse or whatever, I even gave Keanu advice. I said, clip your own shit. Try to clip it before they do. Right after you finish the show, have your topics presented and then clip a video. So hopefully you can get that revenue. Or put it behind a paywall. After you do a video live so the Clippers can't get it, put it for your members so people can pay to watch it. I don't know if she used that technique, but the Clippers are cool, and I appreciate them, and I get what they do. I don't have a problem with them, but there's one instance or a couple instances, like with the Onion guy. This is where I have another problem with him, because I'll make a video, and I want to respect my members. So I'll have it in my members only section for maybe 24 to 48 hours before I release it to the public. That's a way I can make a couple of dollars here and there and respect my members. So even though he's blocked on my channel, they can still become members.
Right.
That's something YouTube needs to look at. That's a little bit incorrect. If you're blocking them, but YouTube's like, I don't care if you block them, we still want their $2 or our 30%. So they allow people like that to become your member. Then when I would release a video to my members only, other people didn't join my memberships, then he would do his entire show watching my video from the members only section. So now nobody else is going to pay me to become a member to watch my videos because Melton is giving it to them. I said it again. Is giving it to them for free. And I don't know, but I don't agree with that. If you put something behind a paywall for a couple of days, I don't think other podcasters, whether they're giving you $2 a month, deserve to take your content while it's under a paywall and then make clips from it and do it on their show. I don't think that's right. When it's released publicly, go at it.
That's an interesting take, and that is a bone of contention with a lot of people. I think Kevin Brennan gets mad about that. I think certain people that put their stuff behind a paywall, it's like, okay, if it's out there for the public, you can clip it. That's fair use. But if I'm charging money for this content because I think there's a value there, you shouldn't just be able to clip it indiscriminately. And I
agree.
Sort of agree
I
with
agree with that. And Melson had said to people with Hackmania, that bought the live stream, listen, all I ask is you don't clip it until Monday. And then you're free to clip whatever you want. But the people that bought it, are going to watch it, and it's not fair to them to clip it where everybody can watch like the best parts of it for free.
I agree.
And so I agree with that. And I even agree with the same thing, as much as I say stuff about Kevin Brennan, I agree with that and anybody else that feels that way about their content. It's their property and they want to monetize
Peter
it.
Sky Parker, bro, I'll be right back. Got to clip something.
He loves to needle. He's a needler.
He's
it's
funny.
All good.
Is
he
Peter.
One of those clippers? Is he
He's like
he's a peanut gallery guy. He likes to comment on audio.
He's the audio guy, so I respect him. If he says the audio is good, that's a high honor, and he hasn't complained about the audio. So we're doing good.
Michael, you've been a good egg, and I don't want to keep you too late. You've put in more than enough time with us. What can we promote for you?
It's not about that. If you got the time, I'm a 3 hours earlier show, but it's up to you guys.
Okay. What other what have we not covered? What else? Anything else you that you're thinking about that you'd love to cover? Because we'll talk about anything here on this show.
No, but I think we're retorting back. We were talking about Bauer's Beauties or something like that. Like they want to make a show. Well, I was thinking about doing a dating show, like on my channel, somehow through like StreamYard or something, where I have like 6 girls for the first time get on StreamYard.
You give them a rose?
And then I ask them questions and then, like Love Connection. Then I whittle them down by the end of the show, and I'll be like, all right, can we connect and maybe get each other's number or start to get to know each other? I thought that'd be an interesting concept, like find Donkeylips or whatever, a lover or something like that.
Maybe we can get like Ladies of the Deb.
Yeah.
We can get like Gina Bobina. Maybe Shades Cow would do it. Maybe
KB
would do it.
There are Ladies of the
FKA
Devilverse
Mommy,
apparently,
maybe?
huh?
A lot. Yeah, we get a lot of them to come in and watch our show. I have a question from Gina Bobina. Ask Mike who his favorite Goonie was.
Chunk.
All right.
Come on, man. Chunk.
All right.
I'll do the truffle shuffle. You guys want me to do the truffle shuffle? I'll do the truffle shuffle.
Yeah.
You don't have to
if
do
you
that.
want.
I don't mind. I do it on my channel all the time.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's do it. Let's do it.
Whenever they hit the goal. Since you're supporting me, I'll do the truffle shuffle. Give me a second.
All right. All right. What a good sport.
See if you guys can hear me.
Okay.
Ooga, 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 ooga.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, that's
Thank you,
awesome.
Michael.
All right. Hit a sound drop for that, Dan.
What else can we do?
Applause or
Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed.
weed every day.
So gangster. But yeah, no, I love the Goonies. Like they're making a Goonies too. Apparently, it's officially being worked on, and that is such a sight to see or hear.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Is that supposed to be sexy?
His tits aren't bad. I thought they'd be bigger. Yeah, I don't have those mushy tits like the Onion guy or other people.
You actually didn't look too bad, Mike.
You look like
for a big guy.
you look solid, and looks maybe like you lost weight.
Yeah, I have some heart issues, and yeah, I mean, I might look healthy and look young, but I'm struggling in a lot of areas. But I'm just proud to be here. Every day I wake up, I thank God. I'm like, thank you for allowing me to wake up today.
And like I said, when I was talking to you earlier, and I said, "Oh, what do you want to do, like right now?" and blah blah blah, and I said, "You know what? You got a roof over your head. You got your computer stuff, your memorabilia. You're breathing. Every day you get up's a blessing." And you ever, like I said, don't compare yourself with other people. There's people worse off than you, and there's people better off. You're never going to be the worst or the best, as far as living situations or anything like that. Just enjoy everything you've got now.
All right, you guys want to sing the Camp Anawana theme song? Harry Dunn said, sing the Camp Anawana theme song instead. But you guys got to do it with me.
I will. Camp Anawana.
No, we'll start off like this. It goes dun 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 dun, and then right after that we'll start.
Didn't you play the trumpet? Was that you or?
Well, in the opening intro, I grab a trumpet, but nobody plays an instrument.
Yeah, nobody played anything.
During the intro, so I'll go dun 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 dun, and the first words are "we run, we jump."
Okay.
Okay.
And then it goes into and then the other.
I'll continue it if you forget it. No worries. But
okay.
Let's do it. Dun 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 dun. We run, we jump. It's hard to get on pace because it's audio.
Yeah.
I'll just go it. Dun 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 dun. You can sing it too, but I'll just keep going.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun. We run, we jump, we swim and play. We row and go on trips. But the thing that lasts forever. Our cringy podcast by Donkeylips. No, our dear friendship. Yeah. Camp Anawana.
We hold
you in our hearts. And when we think about you, it makes me want to fart. Dan, Little Debbie, Dabbleverse. It's I hope we never part.
Say the words.
Get right or pay the awful waffle price. Now we will share a lifetime of the fondest memories by the lake of Anawana, set near the old pine trees. Aren't all pine trees old?
No, not necessarily.
Camp Anawana, we hold you in our hearts. And when we think about you, this thing came apart. Think on I want to speak on I want to live on I want to.
Yep. Oh, that's
I'll
great,
do that on Cameo. I have
Yes.
Cameo available, cameo.com/Donkeylips. I'll give a roast, a shout out for a few bucks. Appreciate y'all. And every Cameo comes with an autographed picture sent to you separately.
Yeah, so you have a whole store, right, Michael? So let me bring it up while we got you.
You can
So
go to it if you want.
so it's off your Twitter account, right? The link.
No, I think it's on Fourth. Just search Fourth Wall
Okay.
Donkeylips. I don't know what's on there right now.
Yeah,
There's probably one
know you got
item
some
that
good-
shouldn't be
some
on
good
there right
loot.
now, but whatever.
Do you have that Garbage Pail Kids T-shirt that I saw? Is that would somebody else make that?
Yeah, there's a Garbage Pail Kids Donkeylips T-shirt that I paid somebody for a design with. And
I love
it's kind of
that, by the
cool.
way.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why I need designers. Like I need a lot of T-shirt ideas and clothing ideas, but I can't afford because they deserve money. I just can't afford to pay them all.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the link in the chat so that everybody can if I can make it work here.
Michael, I wanted to ask you while he's doing that, what's a day in the life of Michael Ray Bauer? Like, what are the things you do besides streaming and stuff like that? When you go, do you go for walks? Do you go out? Do you have favorite places? Do you go to the movies? Like, what do you do during a typical day for hobbies or fun or things like that?
Yeah, not much, unfortunately, but I need to add more. I mean, I wake up. Thank God I'm alive.
Right.
I go for a walk if I have enough energy that day, because some days I just wake up and I feel like death. I go for a walk around the block 2 or 3 times. I don't have a car at the moment, so I don't really travel too much. Don't have a lot of money to travel. Then I come inside, watch some YouTube, maybe make an oatmeal or whatever the case may be. And then if I have any work, I'll try to make a YouTube video or check emails or do something like that. Then, make a dinner later in the day, watch some more YouTube, and then go to bed. I've unfortunately lived too much of a simple life recently that's not getting me anywhere. And I understand that, and I got to change it. And I don't know. It's just...
Yeah. Now,
But that's the normal day for me. But every day's different. I get on vampire schedules too much because I watch TV. I'll start watching TV 6, 7, 8 o'clock, and I should go to bed at 11 or 12. Get up at 7 or 8 or 9.
What do you watch till 4 in the morning?
I watch everything, dude. Like,
you
that's why I
watching
need a
Andor?
girlfriend.
I heard you watch the Star Wars shit.
I watch everything. Cooking shows, Andor, Star Wars, Connors. I even watch the Kardashians. And then next thing you know, I look and it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh shit. You just binge watched the whole season of a show. And now it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Guess what? I'm going to be on a vampire. If I go to bed now, I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock at night. Then I stay up all night again. Ugh. It's like living in Vegas.
How about those toilet tacos? How often do you make those suckers?
Well, I've never made a toilet taco again.
Oh, that's too bad. That's a classic.
I didn't know I didn't know where to put the turkey grease or whatever it was.
No, I get it.
I didn't know where to
No,
put
I get it. Where are you going to put it? You're either going to throw it out the door, on the lawn, or I get it. You're working with.
Now I put it in a trash bag, that has like a bunch of papers in it, and then I can close it up. But at the time, that was my only outlet. I mean, I don't even have a sink to do dishes. I have to use the bathroom sink. It's just, I made a mistake. It was funny. I get it.
No, it's everybody. It's classic. That's what you're known for.
I don't want to be known for that.
No,
shit.
but it's everybody enjoys it.
Fun. People think it's fun.
And you're making the best of the situation. I mean, I don't know how they can.
Sense of humor about it.
You do. You're a good sport. Yeah, and you're really self-aware, and you're a lot of fun. And Gina might be interested here.
I'm not a good sport sometimes. Sometimes, I got to disappear.
Well, I got something you might be a good sport about. Gina Bobina's sending some flirty messages
Look
here.
Look at that.
What's Mike's lady type? She wants to know. What's the ideal lady for Michael Bauer? What do you look for in a lady?
Well, I know the answer to what is a woman, and that's my type.
I gotcha.
A real woman.
No, just a woman. I don't really have types. I mean, we all have our little things that we like about a certain person or whatever. I don't really care. I think all women are beautiful. I mean, if you're going to look at a woman, don't only look at the outside. I mean,
right.
But like, I don't know, just women are beautiful, just in general, dude. Like, but if you're asking younger Michael, when I was like starting to like women, it would be like a big boob Latina.
Ooh, yeah, we love the big.
Oh, we got FK Mommy.
Ooh, yeah, we should introduce her to FK Mommy. You'd like her. She's a sassy Latina.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I like all girls. I mean, I'm attracted to something about every girl. Doesn't mean I'll be with them.
Right.
Because, you know, we all have character flaws or barriers or mental, whatever the hell we deal with.
Would you date, Gina asks, would you date a trans woman?
Well, back in the days, I didn't know they were trans. And there's a boulevard called Santa Monica Boulevard. And I would always see girls walking the streets like at night by the donut shops.
A lot of Michelle Obama's walking the streets.
Did you ever take their pictures?
No, but they look good. And I'm like, damn, are these like prostitutes or hookers? So I would drive around with my friends after a club or whatever. And I'm like, damn, that's a good looking Latina. And then later in life, I found out that probably 95% of them are all, you know, like trans or whatever. And I'm like, I'm going to be honest with you. They look good. Doesn't mean I want what they have to offer.
Right.
But they got chiseled features, and you're like,
you know,
oh my God.
You know, Donkeylips, what they say, the old saying goes, a mouth is a mouth.
Yeah, I can't. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I've had offers from people that I know are trans or whatever, and I'm like, I just can't get down with that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a blowy, you know. Like
I don't
you
even
said,
like my
or
own
maybe
penis,
kiss you.
Anybody else's.
What about maybe kiss you?
I don't know. It's disgusting me to think about it right now.
Or a handy.
For some reason.
Handies aren't that bad. I mean, you give yourself a handy. Like that's kind of gay too, right?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not trying to be a narcissist or whatever, but I got plenty of girls that are available that I could actually pursue.
You know what?
So I'm not worried about that.
I heard you had a little thing for April Imholt or April Anderson now.
Oh.
Well, no, I mean, I don't have a little thing for her. I just kind of befriended her a little bit. I started to get to know her through like Instagram and whatever. But, you know, she had a lot of issues. She's a young girl.
So you guys had like a kind of a pen pal sort of thing, like a little communication message thing?
No, because I know Gino and I know Keanu. And then I started watching the Aaron Imholt stuff, and I started seeing they would do a show together, that they were a couple or whatever. And then I started to live all that drama, or see, not live it, but see that drama. And April was a friend on, I think it was Instagram and Twitter. And then when I realized everything that was going on, I just sent her some messages, you know, I hope you're well and take it easy.
Flirty stuff going on, or is it just all just friendly?
No, it was just me wishing them the best and, you know, better days ahead and this will pass. And then I think I wrote her a message about decision making, you know, like try to make the best decisions. Then she wrote me back, oh my God, you're an angel. You know, I never thought I would talk to you. I know who you are, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to be her friend, you know, but
who in the Dabbleverse, if they slid into your DMs, you'd be like, that would make your day. Like, is there anybody that you really think is attractive or a cutie?
I don't know that many of them. I'm sorry, I really don't.
You're like, what about Kiki? You think she's cute?
Yeah, Kiki's a beautiful girl. Beautiful girl.
She might be on the. She might be on the market.
April's a beautiful girl as well too. I mean,
Lady KB. Have you seen Lady KB?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Have you seen Sketty Tooth? She's gorgeous.
There's a girl that I think she works with Keanu, but I only know her from her avatar. Araya Light seems like a beautiful woman.
Okay, yeah.
Or Ari Jane. Have you seen Ari Jane?
Ari Jane, yes.
You and Ari Jane would be a cute couple.
Yeah,
they made a wrestling video with me with some girl. I forgot her name, but
I forgot to play the sounder. Every time we talk Lady KB, we got to play this.
Big fucking tits.
That's right.
With April became like we both had kind words for each other, but she was still, you know, doing she was doing teenager shit, you know, the drugs, the this, the cocos, the whatever. But you know what?
Well,
She's young. She's learning, and I
we
hope.
know who Sketty Tooth John is. Everybody knows who you
Yeah,
are.
she's a legend. She's a legend.
You're a flame. I was flaming
Well,
red
flaming
hair.
red hair.
What about if April? What if April, like she started, sending you messages again, say, "Hey, Michael, I'm going to be out in California. Would you want to go out on a date?" No.
No, I would. If she said hello and she's going to be out here and she wanted to hang out, of course I'd meet her and try to be her friend. But ain't nothing going to happen. She's not
I know.
nice
I'm
like
not saying that you're like trying to like do anything. No, but it like you would go out in a social setting with her if she was.
Yeah, I'd be honored to meet her. We've exchanged some really good messages, and I know she has a nice heart. Whether she makes the worst decisions or not, I know she has a good heart. She came from.
She needs a. Do you know what she needs? She needs a mature man in her life who's not on the drugs and has, his head on straight. And hopefully she finds it. But
how could somebody as smart as Nick Rekieta supposedly is be that fucking stupid? Makes no fucking sense.
What do you think about the whole meeting thing? What are your thoughts on that?
On what?
The with the revelations at Hackamania that there was. You had. I'm kind of alluding to what you said in your video today.
They're all gay. They're all bi. They're all into fetishes.
So you would not be down for like a polycool or a throuple or any of that?
Well, 2 or 3 or 4 girls. If I had myself a harem, I'm into that.
You call that a Shmuel Buckman, by the way. Two girls.
I'm in the girl harem.
2 girls, 1 Shmuel.
That's a Donkeylips fantasy, but I don't know if I have all the perfect utensils to make that steak. I don't know, but still, I would love a harem.
None of us have enough to make that thing happen. 3 girls happy at the same time. That's in the movies.
Let some fans ask questions for a little bit if that's what you wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's take some fan questions. Anybody in the chat have questions for Michael Ray Bauer here? We're getting about 10 or 15 minutes before we wrap up here.
When's the last time Michael Ray Bauer changed his underwear? So you asked for it there. You asked for it. I have to.
Here's a Dabbleverse joke that y'all are gonna make fun of me. I don't wear underwear.
You don't. You go commando.
No. Depending on the situation, when I go places or I have to do things, of course I put on underwear. But I'm mostly in my apartment. I don't wear underwear.
What do you wear? Like loose boxer shorts or?
No, I don't. I mean,
are you
I wear like sweats or.
Oh, okay.
Like little shorts or whatever. But in general, I don't wear underwear.
Now you stood up before, but if you stand up, what do you have on right now?
Shut up, Deb. Shut up, Deb. Shut up. Deb is that. Is that how you get away with it, Dan? When you want to do that weird stuff, Deb is your go-to because she's a girl. She gets in there and asks those ridiculous questions.
Deb can get away with what I can't say, so I
like that. Is that how you get away with it?
Yes, exactly. Michael Ray Bauer, will the Raiders ever win a Super Bowl in your lifetime?
Yes, they're going to go to the playoffs this year, and they're going to win a Super Bowl the following year.
Okay. Where are we at with diapers?
Is that what that means? WW.
Yeah, it's where we at with diapers. That's a joke, an old joke in joke with Dan. That's not even directed at you.
Yeah, that's a more at me, Michael. They'd like to joke that I like diapers.
Would you do now? We brought up Chad a lot of times, but would you do a collab with Chad Zumach?
I don't know that much about him. I'd have to actually try to watch 2 or 3 of his podcasts to try to get a feel for his character.
Yeah, you only really have to watch one.
Because that's what happened with Dan. I didn't know much about Dan.
You watched a couple of things and he's like, this guy's an asshole. And then he watched a few other and he's like, oh, he's all right.
Well, no, I saw that the day or 2 before when we were talking about we're officially going to do it. I saw that you did a video with the MKE guy. And I was like, this Dan guy, man, why is he platforming somebody who kind of talks like they're going to kill themselves? I was like, why are you going to do that? So I got mad, and I was also having a bad day for some other reasons. So I don't know. I just blew the lid, and I judged you incorrectly. I'm sorry, Dan.
And that's okay. Did you? Dr. Chow wants to know if you would discuss when you were a cholo.
He's saying everything that I said when I was probably on his show.
You have one of those shirts that like you button at the top, like the Spanish.
Yeah, they
club
yeah.
guys?
I mean, I grew up with Spanish people or Mexicans or whatever
Right.
Latin variety, and
Yeah.
I was like the Miklo from the movie Blood In, Blood Out. I was the white guy. They're like, "What's up, Miklo? What's up, Ese?" So I was that guy. Started liking the Latin women. Started hanging out with.
Nice.
I don't know if I really hung out
been
with
with any
gangsters.
Latinas? You ever dated a Latina?
I've been with a few girls.
Okay, all right,
I've been with a few girls of different varieties.
No, nothing wrong with that.
Ah, very good, very good. How weird KM says, please do a show with Jake Hudson. And Jake Hudson would be good. He's doesn't have any kind of agenda.
I remember that name. I don't know if I've blocked him or something, or if I had something wrong, but I remember that name. I'll have to look into him. He might have offered me to do a show a while back.
I'm sure
I
he
can't
did.
remember.
You know, he has autism, and he's a really sweet guy. Okay, and
I struggle with people though sometimes through chat rooms or Twitter or email with people with autism. I don't know sometimes what they're speaking about, or it kind of scares me because sometimes I don't have patience.
Nah, he's good. You'd be fine with him. He's a good person. He's
Yeah, I'll look
interviewed
into that.
a lot
I
of the
remember-
Dabbleburst people. I've been on there myself. Now I got another one. Johnny Payton, number 8. Mike, would you blow a very handsome guy for 1 minute for $100,000?
Oh my God! See, this is the shit that I don't like about the Dabbleverse because these are funny questions.
They are funny.
Michael, I'll save you from this one.
But
I
no,
would be
look,
tempted,
but look,
100 grand. I'd be
whatever-
tempted to blow a guy for a minute.
Whatever
only 1
way I
minute.
answer it can be used against me or against me. Whatever way I answer this,
It's tempting. It's tempting. For all that
tempting that-
money.
It's tempting.
The man,
Who
the
amongst
man
us
in
couldn't
me
use
says, "Hell, the fuck
$100,000?
no." Depending if my bank account has $1 million or $30,000, no. But if I'm broke like I am, I might have to do this if I'm in the middle of the street and I'm asked this question.
I think we know Gina's answer to that question.
Yeah, it's fun. She's
I
do
might
that.
have to go like this.
all right. Does Mike think Dan Schneider fathered Jamie Lynn Spears'
Yes,
baby?
I do. No.
Okay, nice,
no.
nice.
I'll be honest with you. No, I don't think so. There's no evidence to this point that Dan Schneider literally went further with anybody. Lori Beth Denberg from All That, she's a friend of mine as well. She was doing a lot of sexual stuff, like watching videos.
What's her
And
name again? Sorry,
Lori Beth Dunberg.
Okay,
She
I'm
was
gonna
an
look her
actress
up.
in All That. She was doing like watching sexual videos with him when she was 18 or 19. She was spending the night at his house. And she told me that they never fooled around.
Wait,
So
Lori Beth Denberg? I
Correct.
know. I mean, I don't know her, but I recognize. She's a very recognizable face. She's been on a lot of those like Good Burger, All That, and some other shows. She's a very recognizable person. And she was hanging out with Dan Schneider.
Yeah, she did an article for the Washington Times or somewhere else as well around the time of the documentary Quiet on the Set. And she mentioned she did or watched videos of sexual nature, spent the night at his house. They gave each other massages, but she swore on her grave or on her whatever. She's like, no, nothing ever sexual happened. He never touched me. I never witnessed that from him and any of the girls where it went to that type of an area. So with the Jamie Lynn Spears, I think she was just dating around or hooking up with randos around that time, even though Dan Schneider was a little bit bad with whatever he did with the feet and getting too close to them or whatever. I don't think that is his baby. And I don't think he's ever actually touched any.
So you don't think he made white with any of these girls?
I don't think so. Even Amanda Bynes, I don't think so.
He just played with their feet. He has a
other
feet fetish,
people,
though.
other people, maybe. I don't
okay.
think Dan Schneider did, because there's no other accusations of Dan Schneider being an actual PDF file, except that he hired many of them, and many of them were around him. Maybe he was too afraid to do anything like that. He might have had that type of, I don't know. It's interesting.
How about this? Now, Gina Bobina's talking about something else. She goes, Conspiracy Corner, but that would be a great name for a show. Bauer's Conspiracy
Yeah, I think
Corner
what's
with
his name
Michael
does that already.
Michael Ray Bauer.
No, somebody does a really good version of Shane Dawson.
Okay.
He has a segment in his podcast called Conspiracy Corner. He does a really good job. Shane Dawson, a popular YouTuber, his brother is a really intelligent conspiracy theorist. Shane Dawson's brother is really in the know. So watch Shane Dawson. He does some videos, conspiracy. They're really good fun. Really
Anybody
fun.
else from Nickelodeon or the child actors that you're friends with or still friends with that you communicate with that we'd have known or we'd recognize?
First off, Brent Mania, I just want to say I love you, brother. Thank you for chiming in. He's like one of the moderators on my channel.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks, Brentomania. Appreciate it, brother.
You're a nice guy.
By the way, I looked and we got about 17 new subscribers since this show started, Michael. So
thank you.
You're bringing all the boys to the yard. So thank you so much for
my
being
milkshake
here.
brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, okay. So what was the question again? I'm sorry. Repeat it.
Did any other child actors from like the Nickelodeon family or anybody else that we'd recognize that you struck up a friendship, whether in the past or currently, that you talk to a lot?
I mean, I have a couple of real big celebrity friends still in my life to this day.
Oh, cool.
But we don't have the relationship where we hang out every day or whatever.
Anybody that you can share with us? Or
yeah, I mean, Fred Savage is one. Fred Savage
nice.
is a constant in my life. Laura Prepron is another
cool.
one from the 70s show.
Yeah, she's great.
Did you ever meet Danny Masterson?
I've met Danny on many occasions.
Oh yeah.
Would I ever be a priest? No, because I don't like kids. Bump, bump, bump.
What was your experience with Danny Masterson?
Well, to give some context to it, that 70s show was created by a couple of Salute Your Shorts writers.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wrote some episodes, and the 70s shows is an exact replica of Salute Your Shorts because there's like three girls and like 4 guys, but they just added the marijuana. They did it at a house.
Similar vibe to it, kind of a similar.
Like, that type of thing where they got that stuff. But
it's kind of like them growing up, a little bit.
Yeah, and then one of the writers from the 70s show wrote "Dude, Where's My Car?" brought me onto that one as well. But my interactions with Danny Masterson was only like on 3 or 4 occasions. I went to acting school with Laura for many years, and Danny was kind of off.
She's a cutie, right? In real life,
she's amazing. I love Laura. We were all getting into Scientology around that fucking time.
I was going to ask. I'm so glad you brought that up. That's what I was going to ask. Like, were they trying to get you into Scientology? Were you in Scientology at some point?
Technically, yes, I was.
Did you do the meter where you like hold it and they?
Yes, I did the assessment. Yes.
Oh wow.
They literally put their name on the deed to my house. When I first got a house, they somehow got their name on the paperwork.
Did you sign up for the Sea Org, or are you like in the 5 next to 5?
I started doing the classes, man. I was
you went to the Celebrity Center?
Yes, that's where I went to.
Yeah.
We did the assessment. Then they do a financial assessment. Then they tell you, they look at your whole life, and then out of nowhere, like they get your social security, they get your bank account information.
Then they try to get everybody out of your life.
They want to fix your life. Then you have to buy books at certain levels. They're like, you're on level 1 right now, but you're going to need this book when you're in level 5. And the book costs $550.
Sounds like college.
Yeah,
we're going to take that out of your bank account right now.
Until you cash out your 401k, you don't get to meet Xenu. You gotta give him as much money as possible.
And I started realizing that, like, I went into it with a little bit of skepticism, but I wanted to at least try it for a couple of months, like really coherently, and see what happened, because Laura was in it, Danny, some other friends of mine were in it, and I was just like, fuck it. All these people are rich and famous. If this could help my career, let's do it. But then, like I said, I realized that, like, I started getting things in the mail. I started getting charges for things I didn't order. And they were telling me like to take myself away. I had to live in the facility. I had to like rent a bunk at the Celebrity Center. They got these little rooms there. And they're like, you need to take a
parties or
30.
anything? Was there any kind of like sexual stuff going on with the Scientologists?
I wasn't in it that far. I wasn't in that full.
You didn't get invited to those.
No, I didn't. So, like I said, after a couple of months, and they started, I started learning what it was. I didn't hit the levels where they really started talking about Xenu and off planet and all that other stuff.
Right, that's like level 8. Yeah.
Yeah, they started teaching me little by little. Get rid of the people in around me that are bad. Figure out my finances. Get another agent if the agent's not working for you. Then they started charging me. Then they asked me for like a copy of the contract for my house.
Oh boy!
And I gave it to them when I was buying the house through another lady. That's a whole story for another day that I lost a few years back. But then all of a sudden they made inquiries to get their name on the contract for the house. And it was just really, really scary. And then everything where'd you guys go?
I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to set this up for something here for you. We're still here.
Yeah. We're gonna we would like to ask, Gina would like to ask you, can we ask Bauer to say hi to Doom for a new video intro? Wouldn't that be cool? So let me take this chat off the screen, and would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of something funny.
Oh yeah, take your time.
All right, I'm going to replace Kevin Brennan from now on. I don't do clips. Doom.
Bravo.
Perfect. Perfect. One take.
Professional actor Michael Ray Bauer. One take. All it takes is one take. That was awesome.
So I tried to get out of Scientology once I realized it wasn't going to work. And then all of a sudden, you can't leave. People were showing up at my house in suits. And I was hanging out with gangsters around this time. So, some tough people. And long story short, they were sending me bills. And they were like, you signed a contract to pay a certain amount for all these courses, and we need to get it back. And they were sending people, Michael, why don't you come back? This and that. What's wrong? Why are you not here? And then one day I just my friend gave me a shotgun. I'm like,
get away, back off, get away from the Bauer residence.
Yeah, it made internet news back in the days and all that other stuff.
Oh, cool. Oh, we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, Mike, Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
look it up.
Michael, it's been a pleasure. We've gone 3 hours. I think you've been more than generous with your time this night. It was an absolute pleasure. You, like I said earlier, you are an absolute doll. You're a great sport.
Thank you.
You can take a joke. You can, you just make
not
people
really, but thank you.
Yeah,
you've been awesome, Michael. You've been
awesome. And the chat's been great with great questions for you. I hope you'll consider coming back on at another date, because it seems like you got a lot of things to tell us. And so
let's do the
I
plugs.
Wish you the best, and do your plugs.
Yeah. So where can we
Real
find
quick,
you?
Little Debbie and Dan. Since we talked about Danny Masterson, I recently found out that him and Ashton Kutcher was possibly involved of a murder with Ashton's girlfriend at the time, allegedly. I'm just saying, do you guys? I didn't know that story. I heard it about 8 months ago, and I'm like, wow, that Danny Masterson probably helped him out. The Church of Scientology possibly helped Ashton out, allegedly, for Ashton to be a part of it. Like, what? That's intense shit, man.
Yeah, I remember that story. With Ashton Kutcher. He had a girlfriend at the time, and I think wasn't she dead in the house?
We filmed Dude, Where's My Car?
Wow. Apparently. But anyhow, I appreciate it. We're all caught up. It's going to be a short show.
Short show tonight. All caught up. So, Michael, where can we find you? Plugs. So YouTube and Instagram at Hey Bauer, right?
Yeah, Twitter, I believe, is at Michael Ray Bauer. Just search the internet. I'm sure I'm there somewhere. You'll find me.
And what's your Venmo and stuff?
We're gonna have you back, Michael. So don't go off and get big time us, because what ends up happening is people come on our show, and then everybody, because I want to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to make a prediction. The next couple of days, you're going to get a lot of people reaching out. You're going to get the nice podcast stupid bump, and everybody's going to want Michael Ray Bauer on their show. So when word gets out, but don't forget the little guys when you blow up, because we definitely want to have you back, and really appreciate you giving 3 hours. It's been awesome. You've been a great sport.
Yeah.
No, you supported me, and I can't thank you enough. And again, the Venmo and everything doesn't matter, but go to my YouTube channel. I think I have Cash Apps or Venmos, or become a member of my YouTube channel. All of that's in the description.
And anybody
and
that
no
wants
worries, Peter Sky Parker. No worries, Peter Sky Parker.
Any Hollywood people, I'm his new agent. So nicepodcaststupid@gmail.com. Michael doesn't get out of bed for less than three grand. So start high.
So KB, fire up the super chat machine. You're gonna have to pay.
I don't
big.
even know if I'm worth that much, but I feel good thinking that I am. Thank you very much.
Stuttering John got 3K out of Kevin.
I love Stuttering John, man.
Good. Yeah, that's good. I forget now. Did you say you met him?
Is he married? Anything?
No, he's divorced. He's divorced.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
I think Gina Bobina has a crush on him.
I think Gina's got a crush on Michael Ray Bauer, I think, right now. She said, I want to see Mike back here. So we're going to, by the way, Bauer's Beauties. I've
seen Gina on my channel, though. I think I've seen you on my channel before, Gina.
Yeah,
so thank you for supporting.
She's a good girl.
Okay. All right, we're good. We're out. Thank you so much, Michael.
Oh, you said you wanted a tag or something.
For our show? Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know. You said something earlier. Let's do the tag. I didn't know if you meant me or anybody else.
Can you tag Nice Podcast, sort of like what you did for Doom, and a little Nice Podcast Stupid thing?
Yeah,
Let me put your
right.
Hold on.
Make it full to get us off.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna get this right. Here we go. And go.
You're watching Nice Podcast, stupid, and I'm Donkeylips. And guess what? This podcast is the shiznit.
Wow.
Oh, mic drop, Michael Ray Bauer.
Play an explosion.
Oh, wait a sec. I don't have an explosion.
Oh, and you were asking me who else do I like from the Dabbleverse. Not that I watch a lot of their stuff, but the chubby guy from Kino Casino is pretty.
Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, I like.
He's very entertaining and very animated and lively.
You should get on if you can get hooked up with Kino Casino. I think that would be a good.
That would be a good one.
Those guys actually, I think you'd hit it off with. So that's
what about.
He makes a lot of sense sometimes. Some of the clips I watch, but his co-host is always like, "Huh? I didn't get it." They work together so well. It's like that one guy is the leader, and the other guy's just like the it's like Donkeylips to Budnick in the first episodes of Sylvia Shorts, where I'm the loaf. It's funny.
All right. We're it's late. Thank you so much, Michael. We'll do this again sometime, and have a great night, everyone. By the way, special show this weekend. Stay tuned. I got a special guest for this weekend. Probably won't be as good as Michael, but we'll be around, and always every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Deb.
Thank you.
Peace.